Testing. Hello? Hey, Max. Are you a floor dog? Max, are you a floor dog? I got an update, everybody. Got an update. Max, are you a floor dog? Why are you being a floor dog, Max? Do you like the floor? What the hell? This is what this fucker does. He just sits right next to me like a dog, man. Look at this. We got a floor. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh. Ah! 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 Floor dog. Alright, everybody. Doing a show today. So I just want to give everyone, before I start today's program, because I think today's program is going to be a little bit one-tracked. Because I'll be honest with you. Let me just explain what's happening here from a behind-the-scenes perspective. I woke up... Okay, we have to rewind the clock to fucking Friday. Friday, I get this fucking phone call, and I'm not going to go into details, but I'm dealing with some family bullshit, right? That's, just suffice it to say. Dealing with some family bullshit, right? So I am just like, I'm on edge, right, all weekend. Like, I'm on and off the phone, I'm yelling on the phone, I'm crying on the phone, I'm just going nuts on this fucking cell phone. I don't even like talking on the phone, right? And I think it was Friday that I did this video, I guess it was an hour long, talking about Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur going anti-trans. They just they fucked around, and I'm going to try my best to make them find out. But no one else on the internet's fucking doing anything except for people in my echelon. You're not seeing anybody else talk about this shit. Why? Because they don't fucking give a shit, right? So I'm taking it on the mantle. I am speaking on behalf of trans people when I say fuck the Young Turks, fuck those bitches, okay? But that was Friday. So I basically got no break. I will say, okay, I had a break a little bit last night, okay? Things calmed down. I was able to get high and play video games, but either way, I woke up about 40 minutes ago-ish, like around 9:30. And my phone, right, you know, I check my phone. I have Twitter on there. I also have Blue Sky. I don't have Blue Sky on my phone. Do they have a phone app? I'm not sure. People sending me these links to this fucking, like, podcast or whatever Anna Kasparian did. She went on this right-wing podcast for, like, 2 hours and basically just, like, did a whole full-fledged why I left the left. She's talking about how, like, you know, hormones are killing kids. Like, she's talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Like, I know this sounds ridiculous, right? But I'm telling you, I'm about to just play the whole video. I'm about to watch this entire shit. Right now, one, because, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, no one else is doing this shit. No one else fucking gives a fuck, right? No one who's more popular than me is gonna give a fuck. Anyone who's less popular than me might give a fuck. And so, you know, again, I'm just speaking on behalf of the people that apparently have no voice in the left. I don't know where the fuck Majority Report is on this. I don't know where the fuck the other 99% of TYT. Where's John Idarola on this shit? Where's Nina Turner on this shit? Where's the rest of those motherfuckers on this shit? They're nowhere to be found, okay? They're fucking I don't know. They're fucking on vacation in the Bahamas for all I know. They're fucking nowhere to be found, right? And so someone's got to talk shit about Anna Kasparian because goddamn, this bitch is on drugs or something. I don't know. I'm willing to suggest it's something else. Money is a drug. But either way, that's what I'm going to get into today. If you want to see part 1 of me going nuclear, that's on Friday. I mean, I just can't with these motherfuckers, man. I hate media in general. And I hate left-wing media because it's full of fucking stupid shit. And this is what the left-wing media stupid shit is. People enable these people. Right? We could have been calling this bitch out years ago. I was calling her out a little bit, but, you know, like, everyone else should have been fucking dumping this stupid fucking whore, like a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but everyone's like, he's my friend, oh my god, I have I have a phone number, and we talk on the phone, and they do this stupid fucking garbage because all of these cocksuckers are in a fucking web. They're connected to each other, they're too afraid to talk about each other, except for a couple of people, right? And I consider myself one of those people. I never talked to the Young Turks. I don't know these people. Fuck them. There's a couple people in my position as well that don't know Anna Kasparian, that don't know Cenk Uygur, so fuck them. But everyone else who should know better has got stars in their eyes. Oh my god! When I was starting on YouTube, the Young Turks were so nice to me, I can't... Like, give me a fucking break, okay? Give me a fucking break with that shit. I don't care about this behind-the-scenes bullshit. Now, I just want to say this, too. So, I go and check out this video, and I know, shout-outs to the leftist mafia, right? I've been on their show. I like most of those guys. And so, they did the most, like, I'm gonna start here before I get into the full thing, because I clipped this myself, I was just watching this shit this morning while I was getting ready for the show, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do the whole thing. But, like, shout-outs to the leftist mafia, but I'm just gonna be honest with you, they did not say what needed to be said about Anna Kasparian, like, 3 months ago, right? And this is what the result is. Anna Kasparian is going on this right-wing program calling the leftist mafia insane on this right-wing program, right? Now, did she go on the leftist mafia to talk about this? No, because she's a stupid fucking bitch. And that's not part of her fucking plan to make money. She knows that if she goes on Ben Shapiro's show, on this fucking show, on other kinds of fucking shows, that she's gonna make money. She's pivoting. So she's not going to debate the leftist mafia. Why the fuck would they? Debate, right? And the leftist mafia, shout outs to all those guys. They need to understand Anna's the enemy. She is Ben Shapiro. She is Candace Owens. I need you to understand this. Put it in your brain. She cannot be helped. It's already over, okay? Whatever it was that was happening over the last 2 years, right? And I unsubscribed from TYT a while ago, right? So, but it's like, everyone else around her enabled this, and it's already too late. The cat's out of the bag. She's insane, right? So I just want to play this fucking shit, because, like, I like the leftist mafia, but I'm going to be honest with you. My critique on them is they don't go hard enough, right? And this is just a general thing, right? Like, and again, I love them, right? They're great, but they just don't go hard enough. And that's just, like, I don't know, maybe it's just part of the DNA of the show, but especially, like, on this Anna segment, there was, like, 30 minutes of them, right, of, like, and again, I'm saying this with all due respect, of, like, David Dole and Mike and Matt, right, and doing this, right, I like saying David Dole's full name because it's short and it's an alliteration, just for clarification, but anyway, and they're like, well, actually, she's so nice, and again, shout outs to them, whatever, I get it, it's awkward, you don't want to be in this situation, I understand, and that's why they're not uniquely situated like someone like me would be to just go nuclear on this stupid fucking bitch. But imagine, right, you try to talk sense into your fucking friend, right? You're going on your show like, oh, my friend, oh, wow, she's my friend, and like, and I don't, and she's like my friend, and I don't want to and it's like, and then she goes on some right-wing fuckhead show and says this fucking shit.
Turns out that Anna is a massive fan of our program. She's seen every
now keep in mind, I just want to say, this is a right-wing show, right? This is a right-wing... If you disagree with me calling it a right-wing show, whatever. Okay, look it up. Look at it yourself. This is a right-wing show. This is like one of those, like, 4chan primordial soup kind of shows, okay? But watch this shit.
Just huge fan, right?
And how did she become a huge fan of this show?
Well, okay, so I happened to come across a video you guys did about me. It was the stream on, I hate to name names, but you guys were covering the leftist mafia and their insane gaslighting video about me. And you guys were the only ones, as far as I could see, that actually did a good job in highlighting how badly they were gaslighting me.
So notice that. She had no idea who the Sich and Adam show was until Leftist Mafia did a milk toast. We're talking like, I'm telling you, you know that motherfucker from Office Space? And again, no offense to the Leftist Mafia. I know these guys watch my show sometimes too. But you know that motherfucker from Office Space, right? That's like, that's the Leftist Mafia when they're talking about Anna Kasparian, okay? They did it last Thursday, right? They did it fucking 3 months ago, whenever. Every time they're that motherfucker from Office Space that are like, that's them, okay? They're not, like, I'm sorry, man. I get Olay, she goes hard, but everyone else is the motherfucker from Office Space, okay? And so she watches that, and instead of going, hey, those are my friends, let's give them a call. Oh, those are my friends, let's go on their show and talk about this. Let's clear the air. What does she do? She looks up fucking right-wing, like, reaction videos and goes on their shows. So you know what, Leftist Mafia? Here's a question for you. Is this really your friend? I'm just asking you, is this your friend? And if she's not your friend, why the fuck are you treating her any different than Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro or any of these other fuckheads? Think about it. She doesn't view you as a friend. She views you as an insane gaslighter. I'm sorry, man. I mean, come the fuck on, man. And I have this whole video here. I have the whole thing here. I'm gonna just jump into the whole thing. But I just want to, like, do a quick thing about the Leftist Mafia. And again, I like the Leftist Mafia. I watch their show when I can. I've been on their show. You know, I like to consider myself on good terms with almost every one of the hosts there. Almost, right? You know, maybe we can work on that. But I mean, like, I just, like, can't imagine, right, doing a show and trying my best to be nice to someone and then having that person ignore me and jump on a right-wing show and talk shit about me. Like, I can't imagine that, right? Because that's not the kind of friendships I foster, right? And if this bitch ain't your friend, I ask you, what the fuck are you doing, defending her? And when I say defending, I mean when you do this fucking squirrely-ass Office Space motherfucking routine where you're like, well, actually, like, that's defending her because you're not treating her like she deserves to be treated. She's acting like a bitch, treat her like a bitch. She's acting like a fucking stupid-ass prick, treat her like a fucking stupid-ass prick. That's what I say. So, anyway, I'm gonna jump into the whole video, but I wanted to start with that, because, like, I mean, I just started watching this morning, so, you know, that's all I got into, but I'm sure there's more. She's defending fucking transphobic people, she's defending Kyle Rittenhouse, there's a lot more in this shit, so it's gonna be hard for me to clip it, but you know what, I'm just gonna do a whole reaction stream. I'm joining the pipeline, motherfuckers, it's happening again, oh no. Alright, I gotta turn my air conditioner on before I sweat myself to death. Watching in the hospital while I wait for me dad to get surgery for free. Shouts out Canadian healthcare. There you go. Drinking brewskis for breakfast. She's defending Rittenhouse. I'm showing you the whole thing. I'm doing a whole reaction show. She leaves like around this mark, and that's when I'm gonna leave as well. So I'm gonna watch this on 2x, motherfucker. I'm sorry, man. Like, I know, I'm not gonna sit here and do a 2-hour podcast on 2x, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna get through this fucking shit, okay? Okay? But, again, I woke up today, I've been pissed off for, like, a solid, like, 7 days straight because of this whole thing I'm dealing with, right? And so, a couple people DM'd this to me, so I just figured, you know what? 2 birds, 1 stone, I'll just do the whole thing on stream, right? So, anyway, if that's not entertaining to you, if this isn't news for you or whatever, I'm just, you know, I'm having a little fun here. Getting into the drama, I guess. Is this drama? I mean, again, what's the difference between me doing a Jimmy Dore video and an Anna Kasparian? That's not drama, right? If I do a Jimmy Dore video, is that drama? If I make a video on fucking Steven Crowder, is that drama? No, it's just me attacking a right-wing fuckhead on my show. So this isn't drama. This is attacking a right-wing fuckhead on my show. And so, anyway. And I'm also on my first cup of coffee, so I'm not even caffeinated yet. I just want everyone to know. I'm not even caffeinated yet. Like, look at this. I mean, I had a little bit, right? You know, not a full cup of coffee, right? Like, it's, you know, 25% reduction so far, but like that just happened, right? So anyway, oh man, I apologize if I'm getting a little hyped up. Again, just the last week of my life has been all kinds of crazy. So just bear with me if that leaks into the show, because I know it is, right? And yet, you know, you got to weaponize it. You know, I'm pissed off in general. I'm just generally upset about the world. You know, in fact, I have cortisol that's been flowing through my bloodstream for the last week, and it's not fully drained out yet. So you know what? Let's use it. Let's have fun with it. All right. So, so I'm gonna reset this because this is going to be another segment here. Also, we got a Max dog next to me, but that's a whole different thing. So okay, once again, real quick, I wake up, a bunch of people are messaging me, hey, Anna Kasparian just admitted it all on a right-wing show. She just admitted that Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. She admitted that black people are rioters and looters and they're gonna fuck shit up at the protest or whatever. She just admitted that trans kids are being mutilated. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm hearing this shit, I'm like, what, like, did you fucking, like, wiretap her bedroom or something? Like, and listen to her private conversation? Like, how the fuck why would she be saying this all at once? Oh, she went on a right-wing show called the Sich and Adams Show. So, this all started because a couple people sent me this tweet here. And this is a clip. I'm not going to watch the clip because I'm just going to watch the whole show in this video. And eventually Anna responds to this by saying, Jesse Singal, by the way, if you don't know who this guy is, he's a propagandist. Think of him as like the Andy No, this motherfucker, as the Andy No of kind of like, you know, are trans kids, like, are they being medically experimented on? Or it's, you know, they just want to suppress. Who's they, by the way? I'm just asking, who's they? Is they like George Soros, right? I don't know. They just want to suppress anything that questions the safety of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for minors. Now, you may not know this if you're not trans. Cross-sex hormones is a right-wing dog whistle, okay? No one says cross-sex hormones outside of a medical setting except for TERFs. That's it. I'm telling you this right now. If you don't believe me, well, I mean, I've been right at every single step when it comes to this bitch so far, so you should believe me. I feel like I've earned that credibility. But cross-sex hormones is a dog whistle, right? She is using that phrase because she is steeped in right-wing thought. She wakes up, listens to right-wingers. She wakes up, goes to the bookshelf, pulls out books by right-wingers. She is studying to become a right-winger in real time, and that's why she's picking up the language such as cross-sex hormones. No one says that, right? But then also, what? Questions the safety of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for minors is pretty disgusting to say the least, and I'm glad that their efforts to destroy his career hasn't worked. Now again, who's they? They is, I guess, George Soros and the crazy transes, right? But it's like, wow, okay, this is the same motherfucker who's like, conversion therapy is better than cross-sex hormones. That's what Jesse Singal says. Right, we got cross-sex hormones, in quotes, one end, conversion therapy, sending them to a torture camp, in the other hand. Anna Kasparian's going with the guy who wants torture therapy. And now I say this. I'm done with the Young Turks. Nina Turner, fuck Nina Turner. Okay? Fuck Nina Turner. Fuck her. Fuck Nina Turner. John Idarola. Fuck John Idarola. Alright? The other guys. Richie, I don't know his fucking first name, last name, whichever one is Richie, I don't know. Fuck him. Fuck all of them. Because they're enabling this, they let this happen, and they've done nothing about it. They've done nothing about it. They don't give a fuck about the trans people that watch their programs. They don't give a fuck about the trans people that work at the Young Turks. How do you feel? How do you think that the one or two trans people that work at TYT feel about this? How do you think they feel, knowing that all of their co-workers don't have their back? So I gotta say this. Fuck all of them. Fuck Jenk. Fuck John. Fuck Nina. Fuck JR. Fuck Richie. Fuck them all. They're all trash. They're all garbage. Solidarity down the drain at the Young Turks. They don't give a fuck about you. 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 No one at the Young Turks gives a fuck about you. They don't care. They'd rather have the money. They'd rather have the fucking fame. They'd rather have the credential, TYT contributor, in their Twitter profile. They don't give a fuck about you. All of them. John Idarola, the rest of them, Nina Turner, whatever. I don't give a shit, okay? When you're working at the Daily Wire 2.0 and you're afraid to talk about it for years, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay? Go fuck yourself so hard that we're going to need to invent a new fucking term for how hard rather you're fucking yourself. That's how hard I think you should be fucking yourself if you're at the Young Turks. They don't give a shit about you. So with that being said, that's my introduction. If the Young Turks, everyone but Cenk and Anna actually cared, you know what they would do? They would stage a mutiny. They would leave. Imagine if everyone in the Young Turks left and it was Cenk and Anna by themselves, and everyone else went and started another network that didn't have a crazy, stupid name. By the way, the Young Turks, stupid fucking name. Stupid fucking name. Everyone knows it's a stupid fucking name. Cenk knows it's a stupid fucking name. This stupid fucking broad knows it's a stupid fucking goddamn name. Everyone knows that the Young Turks is a stupid fucking name. So how about this? So-called allies, so-called people that pretend to support us. How about you start a new network, everyone else quit, leave them by themselves, 2 of them, no producers. Where's Cenk and Anna's producers? Oh, they went to the other network. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Leave them high and dry. Start a new channel with a new... But they're not going to do that. Why? Because they're a bunch of fucking pussies. They don't give a fuck. They're a bunch of fucking pussy bitches. John Idarola, Nina Turner, J.R. Jackson, Richie, whatever the fuck his last name is or first name is. I don't know. I don't watch these motherfuckers. So the newer ones, I don't really know them. Fuck them all. They're a bunch of pussies. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. And maybe now I'm going to start saying, hey, is Nina Turner, maybe her being married to a police officer is something that we should be concerned about? I don't know. Maybe we should be asking these questions. What's going on with the Young Turks? Okay? They're fucked. They're fucked. Fuck them. All of them. Fuck them. Damage Report? What a stupid fucking name for a show anyway. Come on now. Unbossed with Nina Turner? Are you fucking joking? Unbossed? You're not gonna fucking talk about your boss being a fucking someone going out there saying the Black Lives Matter protesters deserve to get shot, but oh, it's unbossed with Nina Turner. My boss just said that BLM protesters deserve to be shot, but hey, I'm unbossed, bro. Look at me, I'm Nina Turner. Yeah, give me a fucking break with all these dumb motherfuckers. Anyway, let's start.
Okay.
Okay, they're doing like this musical fucking intro. I don't give a shit.
It's funny because, you know, I'm going through something very...
Okay, so now she's going to talk about why she left the left, okay? And I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to slow it down and speed it up, like when she starts saying things that are more interesting. But just bear with me here. I'm not going to watch this shit at 1.0. When I pause, you know, that's like... I don't want to be here until Tuesday. I think it already is. I don't want to be here until Wednesday, okay? So just bear with me.
Real and very sincere, and it's uncomfortable, and it has not been an enjoyable process for me. It's been difficult. And so the internet being what it is, all sorts of people from all sorts of political ideologies have theories on like what's actually happening with me, right? And the main accusation...
My theory is that you're a stupid fucking bitch. That's my theory. My theory is you got a pea brain, you dumbass fucking bitch. That's my theory. My theory is you were dropped on your head when you were a fucking baby. My theory is your mom was smoking too much fucking crack even, while you were gestating, okay? That's my fucking theory. My theory is you're a fucking money-hungry bitch. That's my fucking theory, okay, motherfucker? How do those sound as fucking theories? Everyone's got theories. My theory is that this fucking dumb bitch is going to burn down her entire career for the sake of what? Defending Kyle Rittenhouse and attacking trans kids? Are you fucking joking? Is this a joke? Stupid fucking bitch. Stupid fucking bitch.
And both from the left and the right is that I'm grifting, which is hilarious because literally nothing has changed about my work life. I'm in the same...
Okay, so She's grifting, or grifting is hilarious because nothing's changed about my work life. Like, what? How? Okay. Hey, you're a grifter. I'm not a grifter. Exhibit A. My work life hasn't changed. Sources cited? What? Like, what? I don't even understand, like, how is that a counterpoint? Oh, you think I'm grifting? Well, haha, joke's on you. My work life hasn't changed. What? What? Like, that's the thing, is this stupid fucking dumb bitch is so dumb, she doesn't even know what the fuck the word grift means, dude. The word grift, she doesn't know what it means because she's so fucking stupid. She was dropped on her head not as a baby, but last week she was dropped on her head, this stupid fucking bitch. Open up a dictionary, you stupid fuck. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, by the way, again, if you want to look at the chapter select, Anna is a fan of Sich and Adam. What caused Anna's recent political shift? What has the audience reaction to Anna blah blah blah? What is causing the political shift in America? The other side is not evil. Yeah, the guys who want to commit a genocide of minorities, totally not evil, guys. And then we're going to talk about Jordan Peterson. We got like a whole 30 minutes of Jordan Peterson. Public option for healthcare. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be interesting. Right, blah blah blah. But again, yeah, she's defending Kyle Rittenhouse. She's defending, like, the Andy No of trans fucking journalism, right? She's gone off the rails. So again, if you're subscribing to the Young Turks, I gotta have a question for you. What the fuck is going on? Give me that money, motherfucker. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna put it nicely. You subscribing to the Young motherfucking Turks? How about you press the big fat unsubscribe, right? And then, you know, you open up your little fucking book. You open up your little budget, you know? You open up your budgeting and you get your fucking pencil, you get your pen, and you put me in there. You put fucking me in there. How about that, okay? Now, is this grifting? I don't know, right? You know? I'm not sure. But this is what I want to see, okay, motherfucker? This is what I want to see in your little black book. That's what I want to see. So unsubscribe from these motherfuckers and give me the money instead. So anyway, let's watch this shit.
Same place. I have the same audience. The audience does.
That's not true. That's not true. You don't have the same audience, motherfucker. You want to know why I know that? You want to know why I know you don't have the same audience? Because I made a one video about to you, like, fucking 5 days ago, and I've had, like, fucking 50 people come over to me and say, I unsubscribed months ago. I unsubscribed months ago. I lost that shit months ago. I left them months ago. So, no, you don't have the motherfucking same audience, you stupid fucking bitch, but you're so fucking in your own goddamn bubble, you don't fucking know that your audience is shifting to the right, because you're a fucking dumb, bimbo, broad, bitch for brains, fuckhead, okay? So she's just lying. You like, I mean, I'm serious, man. Jesus fucking Christ. We're talking about the dumbest bitch out of all, like, if we were to get, like, a collection of the dumbest bitches in the history of dumb bitches, okay? Anna Kasparian, she might give those motherfucking dumbass bitches a run for her motherfucking money, okay? So, like the Family Feud, you know that shit? If I had a producer, you know, I would ask them to do the Family Feud X, alright? That's already one strike, okay? And we're already, like, what? We're, like, fucking, what, 2 minutes in? 2 minutes into a 2-hour show.
Doesn't like some of what I have to say or some of the new conclusions I've come to. And so I wanted to kind of set the record straight about what I have personally experienced.
And she's too much of a stupid fucking broad to do this by herself, by the way. What is with these, and I'm just saying this as someone who doesn't like going on other people's shows. You think I like going on other people's shows? Talking to a bunch of dumb motherfuckers that are less intelligent than me, you know, going on right-winger shows, talking about it, you know, like, fuck, man, I hate that shit, but I'll do it every once in a while. But you know what? If I want to talk about my political ideology, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll fucking do? You know what I'll fucking do if I want to talk about my fucking political fucking-ology? I'll fucking record a video. I'll record a fucking video. What's up, guys? How's it going? I want to do a video about my ideology. I'm not gonna go on some fucking show that's a bunch of fucking right-wingers, right, talking about, like, what the oh, I haven't had a chance. Motherfucker. You have your own show. You don't have a chance to talk about it. Motherfucker, you have a cell phone. You can make your own videos. You don't have a chance to talk about it. You had to wait until you go on this right-wing show and give them a bunch of free press? Like, what? What? Dumb bitch. She doesn't know English. This stupid fucking broad doesn't know fucking English. Is this a joke? This fucking stupid idiot doesn't know English. She is illiterate. I mean, Jesus Christ. She doesn't know what the word grift means. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I'm sorry, man. And you know what? I'm going to fast forward a little bit because she praises Adam and Sich for being edgy. Right? She's like, oh my god, I love your show. You're so edgy. Right? Is Anna gonna come on my show? I'm edgy. I'm edgy. Yeah, I'm edgy. I'm way edgier than Adam and Sich. I've never watched these motherfuckers. I can tell you right now, right-wingers can't be edgy because the right wing is the mainstream. I'm telling you, left-wingers are edgy. And I'm talking about the real left. I'm not talking about this milquetoast Democratic Party, DSA, Marxist-Leninist, fake LARPer left. I'm talking about the real left. I'm talking about the anarchist left. I'm talking about the actual leftist tradition that's been fucking like a fucking like dimly lit flame in our fucking species for the last thousands of years, right? That's what I'm talking about. We're edgy. These motherfuckers can't be edgy. How can you be edgy when you agree with the mainstream, you stupid fucking bitch? So again, I just want to say this much. I made a tweet earlier. If you have a twitter.com account, I want you to retweet this. I challenge Anna Kasparian to a debate. Now, again, foregone conclusion, she would never talk to me because she would not get away with this shit. She knows she wouldn't get away with this shit, so she would never talk to me. It's manufacturing consent theory. But retweet it anyway. Tell everyone you know, okay? I challenge this stupid fuckhead to a debate because she loves edgy shows, right? She said it herself. She loves edgy shows. Yeah, I wake up. I watch edgy shows for breakfast, motherfucker. Yeah, really? Okay, interesting.
I don't know what my political labels are at this point, right? Because I feel like I don't really fit anywhere. And that's just full honesty. It's, again, very uncomfortable for me. And I want to say that
now, I just want to, like, look at this Adam Frieddead guy. This guy, I'm telling you, look at his face, motherfucker. Look at his face. Now, this guy doesn't have webcam on because he's a little cuck. But look at his face. Like, he knows, man. Look at this guy. He's smiling in the corner. He's like, yeah. Yeah, how many fucking subscribers these guys? I think they have like 50K or some shit. I don't fucking know. Yeah, like 45K. Right, this guy is like, yeah, this is gonna be the ticket to the mainstream. We got fucking the Young Turks on here talking about why she left the left. Look at this guy. I'm telling you, I know that you know that he knows, okay, that he has got the get of the year. This is a career maker for this fucking guy's show. For this fucking Adam and Sich show. I keep wanting to say Stitch, but it's not Stitch. I don't even like that movie. But anyway, this guy knows. He's like, and you know what? He's right. And shame on Anna for letting that happen, man. But again, Anna Kasparian is Candace Owens. Anna Kasparian is Steven Crowder. Anna Kasparian is Alex Jones, motherfucker. That's how far off the deep end she is.
Any point in my adult life, this is probably the point where I'm the most malleable and open to new information because...
Yo, this stupid ass bitch is making my job so easy. This stupid ass dumb fuck bitch is making my goddamn job so motherfucking easy. She's literally going on a right-wing show saying, I am malleable, mold me daddy. Like, yo, what? Why would you say that? Yo, what? She's going on a right-wing motherfucking shithole show going, I am like clay, mold me, my precious. Like, why would you say that, motherfucker? Why would you say that in public, dude? What the hell?
Of what I've experienced over the last few years. And I can get into details about that in just a moment. But that was the reason why I told Adam that, no, this isn't like a Daily Wire thing. I have no interest in working at the Daily Wire. I have no interest in...
Again, it's not a Daily Wire thing. Exhibit A. I don't want to work there. How about you fucking engage with the critique? Like, we're calling you a Daily Wire thing not because you want to work at the Daily Wire, but because you're making the Young Turks an alternate to the Daily Wire. Like, again, she's so stupid. She's so dumb. She's so fucking dumb. Dropped on her head as a baby. She fell off the bed yesterday, right? And fell on her head on, like, a hardwood floor. I don't know what kind of floor she's at. I don't know. Explain this fucking shit. She doesn't, like, it's a straw man. Every time she's like, and then they, who's they, right? They are saying this, and then she's not even engaging with the fucking critique.
Leaving TYT, if anything, I just feel a responsibility to kind of correct what I got wrong in the past to the best of my ability and just do better moving forward. And the reason why I've been at TYT as long as I have is, despite what any of you might think about Cenk, he has never once tried to censor me or tell me what I can and can't say. That's the
because Cenk is a Republican too, you stupid fucking idiot. This is that thing that right-wingers do, and yeah, Anna Kasparian's a right-winger. Shut the fuck up. If you disagree, go fuck yourself. This is the thing that right-wingers do, is they'll say the most banal, pro-corporate, pro-genocide shit in the world, and then go like, hey guys, look, Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Oh, my boss, who also thinks Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong, agrees with me and didn't censor me? Yippee! Like, motherfucker, you're not speaking truth to power. You're speaking fucking cringe to power. You're marching in lockstep with power. Why would power censor you when you agree with them, you stupid fuck? You stupid fuck!
Reason why, you know, we get into these fiery debates and there's never any, like, retaliation for it. And as long as I'm free to speak my mind and genuinely speak my mind the way I have been, I plan on staying there. And there's absolutely no monetary or financial incentive for me to do anything I'm doing right now.
Well, Sich and I box a lot on this show.
That's not true. She's saying there's no monetary incentive. That's not true. She's accessing a new audience, right? She's had a similar kind of audience for 15 years. They're all leaving, and she's bringing in a new audience. That's the money. That's the money. That's the grift. But she's so fucking stupid, she doesn't even understand what she's doing. Now, I want to tell you all, real quick, abridged. I know, we're only 3 minutes in. I know. Y'all should have known better before you tried to watch me watch another podcast, okay? Y'all should have known better. This is going to turn into a 12-hour video. That's on you, okay, motherfucker? That's on you. Anyway, I personally believe that COVID destroys your brain. Why do I believe that? Because that's what the science says. The science says COVID fuses your brain cells together. It destroys your neurological connectivity. It, you know, again, what does that cause? Brain fog. It causes you to not be able to think properly, right? And so over the course of this pandemic, so many people have gotten COVID many times, right? And again, this is what I've been telling y'all. It's making people stupider. It's making, now, I want to sit here and tell you I've never gotten COVID before, unless I've been asymptomatic, and I don't know. I've been in a lockdown for 4 years now, right? So I just want to tell you, okay? I need you to have this. This is an analysis that I need you to apply to everything, okay? I need you to apply this to everything. Everybody around you is getting dumber, okay? You are getting dumber. They are getting dumber. But wait, I don't want to be a doomer here, right? The first step to preventing that from happening is awareness. Awareness. If you know that COVID causes brain damage, what can you do to prevent it? Well, you know it's going to happen, right? So if you catch yourself being more irritable, just realize, oh, I'm irritable because COVID is, you know, it's making me more stressed to deal with, right? The first step is always awareness. If you don't know that getting sick 5 times a year fucks your brain up, then you're just going to be a slave to your fucking DNA. You're just going to let, right, your DNA, like, fucking control you, right? You're just going to let your brain start suffering, not fucking, you know, being able to function right, and it's just going to misfiring, and you're going to turn into this stupid fucking bitch. You're going to turn into this fucking stupid bitch. Now, am I saying COVID destroyed her brain? No, I think she was already a stupid fucking bitch to begin with, but what I am saying here is I want you all to really understand that we are living in the mass dumbing down of society, okay? The mass dumbing down of society. Like, everyone is getting dumber. And that's why I, on my show, tell people that COVID causes brain damage. Because even if you've gotten COVID, knowing that it causes brain damage, right, changes how the brain is damaged when it comes to your personality. Because when you're being damaged, right, in your personality, when your personality is under attack by a virus, and you know that it's happening, you can actually protect against it just by knowing about it. That's called, like, you might call it a placebo effect, but it's called the power of willpower, motherfucker. When you know something is going to cause a chemical reaction in your brain that can cause changes, and you don't want that to happen, just knowing is a powerful thing, right? So again, sidebar is over. Let's get back in.
And I think people You know, I think they like that. I think they admire that we are able to fight with one another over a policy position and still walk away friends. So I spent.
Now, a policy is not trans kids are being mutilated and Kyle Rittenhouse killing protesters is okay. That's not a policy. We're not talking about taxes, motherfucker. We're not talking about like whether or not we're going to build a road here or build a road there, motherfucker. We're not talking about, oh, are we going to build a new playground for the kids? We're not talking about zoning. We're not talking about any of this. We're talking about, like, again, trans people, should they be allowed to live? Yes or no? Anna says no. And, oh, Black Lives Matter protests, do they deserve to get shot? Anna says yes. That's not policy. That's not policy. If you disagree on this shit, you're a freak.
The last week, I was watching a bunch of your most recent videos. And I mean, you're snapping back at Jank quite often. I mean, it's actually quite refreshing. There's a couple things, and we have questions on these. But I'll let Sich, I don't know, do you have anything that you want to ask before we get started?
So, yeah, it turns out that Anna is a massive fan of our program. She's in every episode.
I already played this stuff in my preamble, so I'm going to skip ahead a little
Been friendly or nice. You, everyone who alleges to be your friends,
Okay.
about me. And you guys were the only ones, as far as I could see, that actually did a good job in highlighting how badly they were gaslighting me.
Right.
And so I thank you for doing that, because, you know, when everyone around you, everyone who alleges to be your friends, tells you something you know isn't true, but they keep repeating it to you over and over again, you start asking yourself, like, am I the crazy one?
You know, that's how I feel about it when TYT says that the COVID pandemic is over. You know, the same network that claims that Joe Biden, they're tough on Joe Biden. When they say that COVID is over, that's how I feel. But think about it. What does she know to be true in this instance? That transgender people are bad? Right? Like, what is... When everyone is telling you, like, and it's like, they're telling you it's not true, but you know it's true. What is it in this instance? She's talking about trans people. She's talking about whether or not trans people deserve to have rights. That's what she's fucking talking about. Anyone, if you enabled this bitch, I hope you I'm not saying you should feel so bad that you fucking quit or anything, but I mean, shout out to the leftist mafia, but also anti-shout out to the leftist mafia, because again, yeah, the leftist mafia did the Obama strategy of starting from a compromised position, okay? They were like, well, Anna's got a good track record and this and that and blah, blah, blah. We're going to be super nice to her and maybe we disagree, but we're super nice to her, blah, 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 blah. They did the Obama of critiques, right? And it doesn't fucking work. You still got called an insane gaslighter for calmly, like the guy from Office Space, just saying, well, I disagree a little bit, kind of, not really. I mean, my God.
So that, I really appreciated that. But, you know, you guys have put out a ton of videos about me that have not been friendly or nice. And it's okay. I mean, I can be a good sport about it. And I do think that you guys raised a few valid points. And I just need to be willing to accept where I was wrong and where people are critiquing from good faith. Like, you guys have a little bit of an edgy style. So I'll acknowledge that.
So again, I just want to say, you don't know edgy, Anna Kasparian. You've never seen edgy before if you haven't seen my show. How can someone be edgy when they agree with corporations? How is that edgy? Bro, I'm like so edgy that's like, I think that like Bank of America should have a lower tax rate, man. I'm so edgy, bro. Woo! I'm like so edgy that like I agree with the guys in the White House, man. Like that's how edgy I am. Like, bro, I'm so edgy that's like I agree with the corporate money, man. I'm so edgy. Woo! So again, I just want to say, she's the one who says she likes edgy shows. I challenge this stupid broad to a debate. Anna Kasparian would not last 2 hours on my show. She wouldn't last 2 minutes on my fucking show. And she knows that. She knows that. If she caught a whiff of what's going on around here, she knows. All of a sudden, oh wow, you're edgy and cool, goes out the window. Edgy and cool turns into insane gaslighter, right? If you agree with me, you're edgy. If you disagree with me, you're an insane gaslighter. So no, she doesn't like edgy shows. She doesn't know what edgy is, right? This is like a fucking, like, 16-year-old, like, discovering Green Day for the first time and thinking that it makes them edgy. Like, I'm talking to you motherfuckers, like, I'm telling you, this bitch is dumb. Above everything else, right? She is dumb. Like, I need you to whether or not she was dumb in the past, whatever, okay? At this moment in time, she is dumb. She is a dummy. She has a low IQ. She's a fucking idiot. On top of being wrong, she's a fucking idiot, okay?
But I have thick skin, so it didn't really bother me that much.
That's commendable. We're on this kind of like internet environment where everyone's very attacky to each other.
Totally.
Especially when they're not like engaging with them in person. So
yeah,
you have to have kind of a thick skin. And I know, but I mean, you're talking about earlier, and one of the things that we always commended you on was, when you publicly came out and you said that you were wrong about the Rittenhouse video, which, I mean, most people, when they make a mistake, they just try to hide it, or they try to shift blame. Jimmy Dore very, famously shifted blame to his producer. And I thought it was really commendable that you came out and you're like, no, I got this wrong. And you were trying to show, not just do this like for your sake, but just to say, like, listen, audience, you need to understand that this is the story, and I don't want you guys to have the wrong information. Yeah,
there was. Look, the one, I guess, through line you'll notice in the various things that we're going to talk about in this conversation is that it just became abundantly clear to me that where I was getting my information, and I'm not just talking about like, independent lefty outlets. I'm talking about like legacy media outlets, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them, it's not that they report misinformation, it's that they omit details of the story that would, maybe the additional details of the story don't change your mind at all, right? But it's not up to them to decide that. Like, we should know every detail. I think the Amy Cooper story is another example. It was fairly recently I came across Camille Foster's very in-depth investigation into that story, and there were so many details of that story that were intentionally omitted or left out of the legacy media reporting of it, and that painted a picture in my mind and in the minds of many others that there's no justification for the way that she was panicking when she was on the phone with the 911 dispatcher, right?
For those of you that don't know, we're talking about Amy Cooper. She's the one who called the cops on like some random black guy in the park. So Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. Amy Cooper, who called the cops on some black guy in the park, did nothing wrong. Does anyone remember that video where she like literally is on video like totally normal and then pretending to cry, right? So like she's on the phone like, "Hi, can I get the cops on here? I'm on hold. Yeah. Oh hey, is this the sergeant? Oh my God, I'm so there's a black man. Ah! She's defending that bitch. Yo." I'm telling you, this bitch is dumb. This bitch is dumb. Above all else, she's wrong. She's a Nazi. She's a fascist. Oh, you're triggered that I called her a Nazi. I'm sorry, there's two categories in American politics. You're either an anti-fascist or you're a fascist. And she is buckling and siding with the fascists, okay? So cry about it. Hey, maybe I'm just being edgy, you stupid fucking bitch. Maybe I'm just being edgy. But again, I need you to understand, not only is she a fucking horrible piece of shit person when it comes to her opinions, but she's also fucking dumb. She's dumb. She's not bright, right? She needs to change the light bulb up here because she's fucking stupid. How many fucking goddamn Kasparians does it take to change a light bulb? God knows, because we only have one and it clearly isn't enough.
But then you get this, then you find out, based on what Camille Foster had found out and reported, was that like she didn't have good cell reception. So the person on the other end of that conversation couldn't hear her. She was panicking because she genuinely thought that she was at risk after, here's another thing that was omitted in a lot of the reports, after she was literally threatened by the bird watcher, right? Who said, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want, and you're not going to like it. And then he proceeds to try to lure her dog to him. And listen, you might still feel that her behavior was uncalled for, whatever. That's up to you. But you should know all those details. And I will say, for my personal opinion, if I'm alone at a park and some random guy tries to lure my dog away from me, I'm going to freak out. I just am. And so, okay.
Now, who is making these claims? The racist bitch? So wait a second, the racist fucking bitch is claiming something, therefore it must be true. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know she brought up Amy Cooper. We're only 8 minutes in, right? But like, there's so much here. Like, I need you to understand, right? She is a Nazi, she's a fascist, she's a right-winger, she's a useless fucking bitch, and on top of all that, she's dumb. She's dumb. She's fucking dumb. I don't fucking care if you were friends with her. I don't care if you have her phone number. I don't care if you've met her in person. I don't care if you've hung out with her family. She's fucking dumb. She's a dummy. She's a fucking little dumb, ditzy, dumb fuck bitch, okay? Full stop.
Okay, with the Rittenhouse story, I was going to cover the trial, and I just needed to go back and just like really, really look at all of the details and remember all the details. So when I do the story, I get the facts right. And then as I'm doing that, I come across a New York Times video. And this was a really, really well done video that they posted on YouTube that showed you in slow motion, like how everything transpired that night.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, look at this guy. I want you, don't pay attention to her. Right? Pay attention to him. Okay, with your eyes. With your ears, pay attention to Anna with your ears. Listen to the dumb shit. But with your eyes, I want you to look at this guy. Right? Because I'm telling you, this guy, I'm telling you that this is the get of the year for him. Or, if not even that, the get of these guys' career. I need you to understand, okay? This guy is happy. This guy is like, whoa, this is even more than I thought. This guy is like, wow, this is all happening on my show. This guy's looking at the super chats come in. This guy's like, oh my God, we got the Young Turks in our pocket. Okay? This guy knows for a fact that he has got the Young Turks in his pocket. Okay? And this stupid ass bitch is so dumb she has no idea what's going on. So, again, real quick, is she grifting? Well, that's actually a difficult question to answer because she is so fucking stupid that she probably doesn't even know she's grifting. That's how fucking dumb she is. That she's grifting subconsciously. She's on autopilot. She's a zombie. She doesn't know what's going on. She's just doing the fucking motions. Because again, above all else, she's fucking stupid.
And once you see it for yourself, it's really, really difficult to argue that in those moments, he was not acting in self-defense. And This is an area where, Jake and I disagree because, if someone's hitting you over the head with a skateboard, that could kill you, And so, Jake is a very...
I wonder what happened before someone would, I don't know, try to hit him over the head with a skateboard. Like, this dumb bitch is like, wow, legacy media is omitting certain information. They're not letting us get a complete picture. By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse was being attacked with a skateboard. We're not going to tell you why he was being attacked with a skateboard. All we know is he was being attacked with a skateboard. Now, it would be very nice if I told everybody that he was being attacked with a skateboard, because he just shot and killed somebody and people were trying to stop him from killing someone else. But I'm not going to say that because, oh, by the way, legacy media, they omit things. That's bad. Omission is bad. Lies of omission is bad. But by the way, Kyle Rittenhouse did nothing wrong. He was being, like, are you fucking serious? Like, literally, within minutes, she's contradicting herself. Dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. Above all else, she's wrong. She's a bad person. All right? I need you to understand. She's wrong and she's a bad fucking person. Okay? But way more important than that, for all of what we're watching, is that she is dumb, right? Yeah, she's a fascist bootlicker. Yeah, she's just a shitty person. Yeah, her politics fucking suck. But above all else, she's fucking dumb.
He's a strong-minded person, and he's not one to back down from a fight. So in his mind, someone confronts you with a skateboard, he doesn't see it as a threat. But I do, and Rittenhouse is not a big burly guy who can defend himself against someone who's hitting him over the head with a skateboard as he's lying on his back. So once I saw all those details, first of all, I had to convey them to my audience and be honest about what the reality was. The other thing was, there was a lot of misreporting about how Kyle Rittenhouse was in possession of an illegal weapon and that he crossed state lines with that illegal weapon. Okay, yep. So that was a lie. And it's not a lie that I just made up in my mind, right? That was how it was reported initially, which is why I would mention the state lines, but not because, oh, how dare he cross state lines. Anyone in this country has the right to cross state lines. It was because it was reported that he was in possession of an illegal gun, right, and he traveled across state lines with an illegal gun, which is a serious charge. But it turned out that he did not travel across state lines with that weapon.
He didn't do that.
I just want to tell you, when we turn political debates into legal debates, that's a loss. I don't give a fuck if he crossed state lines or not, right? What I do know is that he did get the gun extra legally. But I don't care. If he bought the gun legally or illegally, I don't give a fuck. That's not the fucking important part of the story, okay? That's not the important part of the story is some stupid white supremacist Trump supporter went to a town they don't live in with a gun to defend property that they don't own, aka shoot people who they don't like. That's the fucking problem. I don't give a fuck if the gun's illegal. It was, by the way. I don't give a fuck if it's illegal. It can be legal, it can be illegal, it can be extra legal, it can be super legal. I don't give a fucking fuck. That's not the important part of the story, you stupid fucking broad, you dumbass fucking whore, you stupid ditzy dumb fuck bitch. That's not the fucking part of the story that matters, you dumb ass, okay?
Yeah, the weapon was in the area already, yeah.
Exactly, he bought it from a friend when he was already in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not illegal, bro. It's not illegal, bro. By the way, he did buy it from a friend. By the way, he was 17, but it's totally not illegal. Why did he buy it from a friend? Why did he buy it from a friend? If it wasn't illegal, why did he buy it from a friend? Ask yourselves these questions, and maybe this whole worldview of yours will fall apart.
The night of that event, I mean, maybe a day afterwards, Sitch and I were watching those videos online as they were breaking out. And I saw the reporting was basically wrong on CNN the night the viral videos were released. Don Lemon was saying, a white kid shoots into a crowd of Black Lives Matter protesters. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
That's insane. Yeah. So they kind of poison the narrative from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And then everyone just kind of gets caught up in it.
Okay, so did he not shoot into a crowd of Black Lives Matter protesters? Like the media is like, man, he shot into a crowd. Did that not happen? I mean, there's literally a video of him shooting at some motherfucker with a plastic bag in a crowd. Now, I mean, like, whether or not you want to fucking pretend like that's acceptable, whatever, that's literally what happened. What?
Yeah, and that's how misinformation spreads. And that was a pivotal moment for me because, again, misinforming the audience is not something I have any interest in. And I might give them the...
Yo, famous last words. Misinforming the audience is not something I have any interest in. Someone write this down. 11:25. Someone DM me on Twitter. 11:25. I'm going to clip that. You know what? That's a good one. Misinforming the audience is not something I have any interest in. Someone let me know. I'm going to clip this one later, okay? Hold up. Let's listen to it again.
Misinforming the audience is not something I have any interest in. And I might give them the facts and they might not like it, but I can't withhold information from them because I'm afraid that they might not like it. So I'm going to give them the facts. But, I've learned to be better about, first of all, the sources I trust. I make an effort to just be cognizant of the filter bubbles.
To be clear, right? Ben Shapiro, trusted source. Jesse Singal, trusted source. Kyle Rittenhouse, trusted source. I just want you all to know, like, when she's talking about, oh, I got to be more careful with the sources I trust, those are the ones that she's putting into the trust category. What did Kyle Rittenhouse have to say? I trust him.
Existed, the filter bubbles I exist in, and I've broken through that bubble a little bit to, look at other sources that I typically wouldn't have looked at. And then the other thing that I do now is I just wait. I think the story involving the so-called city bike Karen is a good example of that. The main show, because TYT consists of many different shows, right? The show that I'm the executive producer and host of is the main.
You have the main show and then the cuck shows where all the pussies congregate and go, look how cool we are. Look, I'm a left-winger. By the way, I'm working on a neo-Nazi network, but I'm a left-winger, guys. Support me. Pay Jenk and Anna to promote neo-Nazi propaganda because then you can watch my 30-minute show where I talk about something that's not garbage. Fuck everyone else at TYT. Fuck them all. Fuck them. If you work at TYT, fuck you.
Main flagship show, the Young Turks. Mm-hmm. And prior to that story breaking, I had a meeting with my team and I was like, listen, I don't want you guys pitching stories about random individuals in the country who are caught in an out of context video allegedly behaving badly. I think these stories are divisive. I don't think we usually have the full details before we talk about these stories. And honestly, at the end of the day, engaging in these witch hunts is actually causing more division and hate in the country than anything else. So like, if there's a story that's particularly like jarring and you guys really do want to cover it, that's fine, but just understand that we are going to wait. Like, we are not in the business of breaking news. I don't give a shit about being the first in reporting the story or whatever. I want to make sure that when we do, we actually report it correctly and we don't have egg on our face later. Now, there are a bunch of other shows on the network that I have no say over, that I have no control over, who, you know, inaccurately reported on it and had to issue retractions. They had to take videos down and all that stuff.
Look at it. Just now she's shitting on the people that are supporting the Young Turks, right? Because if it was just the Young Turks main show and no one else, these motherfuckers would have, they would have been gonzo a long time ago, right? So the same motherfuckers that are too chicken shit to call out their dumb neo-Nazi boss, right? Now that dumb neo-Nazi boss is shitting all over them in public. Huh. Interesting.
And I just think that was a teachable moment, hopefully a teachable moment for everyone in the company. But certainly, you know, this is an ongoing conversation I have with my team. And luckily, I don't know how I did it. I feel like I found unicorn producers because they're really smart, super open-minded. You know, they're less interested in this left versus right or partisan garbage. And they're more interested in making sure that if we're going to report stories, we get.
So the home of progressives is not interested in progressive commentary? Not left, not right, but it's like, you know, man, it's like forward, man. You know, it's like, you know, we got left, you know, we got right, man, but it's like, nah, bro, we're going forward, man, yeah. Not left, bro, no, they're not interested, man.
Get it accurate. And so we're moving slowly but surely in a direction that I think is better, not just for the show, but I think better in terms of like what we add to society. Mm-hmm. Like the last thing
I got news for you, dumb bitch. Well, you can fill in the rest of it. You know what I'm about to say. You can fill that in. Let's just save some more time here.
Want to do is be the other side of right-wing disinformation, right? Like, if we're going to be critical of disinformation we see happening in various videos and that are produced by other people, we should at least look inward a little bit and make sure that we're doing our due diligence.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's interesting you were saying how with the media, a lot of the misinformation comes from, like, they leave stuff out. And that's been my experience too, is just this intentional leaving out of key information, or they'll, like, the headline or the subsection will kind of frame something in a very specific way. So even when you get to, like, kind of the contradictory information, your mind is already, like, made up by that point, so it doesn't matter. And so it leads to this kind of effect where, like, once a person once that story hits that, like you or me or anyone, because I kind of went through the same experience, where like once something hits me in a specific way, like it's like I'm free of the matrix. Suddenly I'm starting to see like things a little bit differently. All the dominoes kind of start to fall, and I say, oh wait, I start to see like where all the misinformation is coming from.
Now I just want to say real quick, this background, man, is cool as hell. Now I'm being honest with you, like throwing that out there. This guy's a cuck for not showing his face, but that's a cool ass background. We got eyeballs and shit going on. But I just want people to know, right, that these guys brought Anna on the show. She said it like minute number 3. I am malleable, right? She literally said on the show, I am malleable and I want to change my positions. And now what are these guys doing? They wrote that down, right? They wrote that down. They were like, oh, she's malleable. Okay, well, let's just tell her a bunch of bullshit so that she'll run away from this conversation being even more of a Nazi. I mean, I'm serious, man. You got Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks, like her or hate her. I hate her. I think she's one of the worst fucking bitches on the fucking internet when it comes to this leftist media space, if that's what you even want to call her at this point, right? I know, legacy, if you want to. She's been a part of some sort of left-ish adjacent infrastructure. Okay. They got her on there, and they're brainwashing her in real time, and we're all watching it. We're all watching the Young Turks getting brainwashed in real time by guys that are not that smart. Like, you think these guys are like professional propagandists? I mean, I didn't make a segment about this on my show because I didn't feel like it, but when she went on Ben Shapiro and did a quote-unquote debate, aka a conversation where they agree on everything, Ben Shapiro is a professional, extremely skilled propagandist, right? But Anna is so stupid that she's letting like D tier, F tier propagandists basically just feed misinformation and disinformation into her brain because she doesn't know how to think because she's fucking stupid.
Was the Rittenhouse thing like, was that like the key moment, or was there something else that kind of like made you shift your thinking?
So that was one of the pivotal moments, but honestly, I would say everything for me started when I started getting gaslit on the crime wave. And it's really interesting to talk about these various political issues in the abstract. But then once you personally experience something, and once you see something happening in the country with your own two eyes, and your political side is incessantly gaslighting you on it, it makes you question, well, what else are you guys lying about? Or what else are you guys...
So, she just admitted it. I don't know what her crime story is, right? Like, what happened? Did a homeless person say hi? I don't know. What is the story that she's talking about? Right? So she was the victim of a crime, therefore I left the left and the Nazis are right? What? What? Now I'm telling you, right? This is something a dummy would say. Now I'm not trying, and when I say this, I understand what I'm about to say may seem strange, given if you look back, right? But Anna Kasparian has become the avatar of the dumb left. Hate to say it isn't so. Jimmy Dore is just a full-on proud Nazi at this point, right? But like, the dumb left, as of 2016 through 2020, they just went full-on neo-Nazi, right? The dumb left disappeared. So Anna Kasparian is taking it upon herself to become the new avatar of the dumb left. And I know, it pains me to say this, given the origin of that phrase, and also, you know, just looking back, just rewind the tape, right, a couple years. But that's what it is. She is dumb, she's not smart, she's stupid. And she is trying to do this, I'm not left, I'm not right, but I'm like forward, man. This is the modern iteration of the dumb left. As sad as it is to say, as depressing as it would be for certain people to have to witness this, and in some silver lining, thank Christ they're not here to witness it, but motherfucker, man, dumb, and I'm not talking about the lollipop asshole, dumb motherfucking left.
Gaslighting about. And that's what happened. So, you know, during the pandemic, there was absolutely a crime wave in the country, mostly...
During the pandemic, again, she's talking about it in the past tense. The pandemic is still going on, gaslighter. Millions of people have died, gaslighter. The virus has mutated to be even more infectious and dangerous, you fucking insane gaslighter. But she's talking about the pandemic in the past tense because she's a right-wing corporate propagandist.
In like major cities, Los Angeles happened to be one of them. And, you know, I talked about how I, you know, was assaulted. Well, actually, let me give you the details again, because there's an element of that story that I've never shared with anyone that also explains where my head's at now. So, you know, as I was walking my dog one day, there were these two guys. They appeared to be homeless. They appeared to be on something. They looked like they might be methed out or something because they were kind of acting erratically. But, you know, typically when I come across guys like that, if I ignore them, they won't do anything. Right. That wasn't the case this time around. You know, they're coming toward me, and my dog Charlie, like, he does his business, and as I bend over to pick up his business, one of them grabs me by my hips and just like with an erection and everything just starts like humping me, like right there, like broad daylight. And it was terrifying because like I didn't have any weapon with me, no taser, no pepper spray.
This hurts to hear, Anna, but you know what? I've had similar experiences. I've been sexually assaulted on the street before. I've been sexually assaulted on the street before by people that were probably on drugs. Does that mean I hate drug addicts? Does that mean I hate drug users? No. I've been sexually assaulted by a black person. Does that mean I hate black people? No. Does that mean I'm going to come on my show and say black people are all criminals? No. But that's what she's doing. Now, this story that she's describing, this has happened to me. I mean, this has happened to most women, I would imagine, at some point in their lives. But it would be fucking insane, right, if you were to be sexually assaulted and then you go around and say all men deserve to be thrown in jail and all meth users are evil, homeless people are evil. Like, what the fuck? That's not... This is called unprocessed trauma. And I'm saying this because I am someone who has had a lot of traumatic experiences in my life. Again, what she is describing, something like that pretty much almost like exactly happened to me, except I didn't have my dog with me. I was alone. Okay? But you know what I didn't do after this happened? I didn't go on my show and talk about how I hate homeless people. Because that's not what the fuck, that's not what caused this. Okay? What she is dealing with is unprocessed trauma. Okay? And this I'm gonna diagnose this dumb bitch with my armchair psychology, okay? This dumb bitch had a traumatic experience that she is unable to fully comprehend. So what she's doing is she's trying to take control of this, right? By changing her opinions. She's making a change in her life, which is a form of her trying to take control of the trauma. But she is not taking control of the trauma itself. What she is doing is she is making an escape from the trauma. She is letting the trauma dig deep inside of her brain, okay? And she is, again, letting that trauma consume her. And I'm not saying that she deserves it. No one deserves to be sexually assaulted on the street. But I will tell you this, right? Again, I've been sexually assaulted many times, okay, in my life. As sad as it is to say, whatever, I'm not trying to make a big deal about it. But I also got sexually assaulted during a protest at some point. I was at a protest against police brutality. After the protest, I was sexually assaulted. Does that mean I'm going to go on my show the next day and say that protests are bad? No. Now, if you rewind the tape, this is the first time I'm talking about this on my show. I've never talked about this before. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go home and go on my show the next day and talk about protesting is bad, homeless people are bad. Why? Because, yeah, something horrible happened to me. That doesn't change every opinion I've ever had. Why? Because I'm not going to let trauma rule my life in that way. Okay? So again, I'm not trying to sit here and do oppression Olympics here. But what I am trying to tell you is that a lot of women out there, especially people in the political commentary world, have dealt with this. But we don't let this change us into neo-Nazis. I could have gotten sexually assaulted after this protest, gone on my show the next day, and did all the protests are evil, you know, maybe the cops should kill more protesters. I could have done that. I could have done the Kasparian method, but I didn't. Why? Because I'm not going to be a fucking child about it, okay? And I'm telling you, as much as it pains me to hear this happen to anybody, letting that control your life, go to a therapist, Anna. Okay? If you can't process your own trauma, I get it. Not everyone can. But go to a therapist. Talk to somebody. This is not how you process grief and trauma. Okay? It's not how you do it. You don't go on a right-wing show and say, I got sexually assaulted and that's why I think Kyle Rittenhouse was actually a hero. That's not... Go to a therapist.
Nothing.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
and luckily the guy, he did that, and then he and his friend walk away while they're like laughing at me. And I felt so degraded, scared. And like the first thing I did is I called my husband, and he came down and he's like, where are they? And he started looking for them. We couldn't find them. The cops wouldn't come. Like, we actually had an incident in front of our building like a few weeks prior to that. That was really scary. We called the police, and the police just wouldn't come. Like, it was amazing. And now in retrospect, I realized the reason why is because there was a shortage. And I think that there was like an unofficial strike, considering what happened in 2020 and all the protests. So they just wouldn't show up. And I just didn't even think to call the cops because I'm like, what's the point? These guys have already like left and they're not going to be able to find them. But anyway, I opened up about that. And I also started opening up about, you know, just what the statistics were indicating in regard to crime and how it's obviously having a negative impact on all communities, but mostly the communities that like BLM and leftists claim to care so much about, the disadvantaged communities. You know.
So, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? Like, are leftists saying there is no crime? I've never heard a leftist say crime doesn't exist. Right? Like, can someone bring up, because apparently she calls the leftist mafia insane gaslighters, right? Can someone bring up the David Dole Rational National segment where he says crime doesn't exist? Right? Can someone go find the Majority Report segment with Matt Binder on there where they say crime is not real? Like, what the fuck is she talking about? No shit, crime is real. But the thing is, how do you fucking stop crime? Cops apparently aren't doing anything, but she's blaming the left, I guess. So the left did a protest in her mind, and that means the cops aren't helping her. That's the left's fault, and also the left says crime isn't real. What? What? Again, more than anything else, she's traumatized on top of it too. But more than anything else, she's just a stupid person. She's just dumb. Like, and this is the synthesis on everything else. She is a stupid person. And stupid people let their emotions consume them and control their lives. And that's what she's doing. Okay? And I'm sorry, man, but like, just because you were sexually assaulted, that's horrible. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden the entire world changes and that crime is all of a sudden a much bigger problem than it actually is. The only thing that left-wingers say is that crime is on a decline, which is correct. That's true. And also, if we want to prevent crime, what do? We don't hire cops. We give people more resources. Cash payments, right? There have been studies on universal basic income and cash payments, and that has a crime reduction factor. Right, so again, above all else, she's just stupid. But add unprocessed grief and trauma.
You know, crime on the metro system in LA has been unbelievable. And the majority of people who take the metro, who take buses and public transportation, they're usually like immigrant workers. They're usually, you know, blue collar workers who, you know, don't have enough money to buy a car, for instance. And so I was like, why are you guys cool with just having these people deal with this kind of violence? There was like a phase last year where people were literally being set on fire randomly on buses. And that would
we're talking about a dumbass bitch. And I don't give a fuck, by the way. I just want to say, her telling her pity me, like, I got sexually assaulted story, like, that doesn't change my opinion on anything. Some people might hear that. Some people might hear that and go, oh, this is all okay. I say no. I've been sexually assaulted. Does that mean I hate homeless people? No. Does that mean I hate black people? No. Does that mean I hate poor people? No. Right? It's not an excuse. Being sexually assaulted is not an excuse to hate fucking leftists and to hate fucking homeless people. It's not an excuse, okay? So again, I don't give a fuck, okay? Go to a therapist. As fucking, as sad as it is, that is what all I have to say as far as advice goes. Go to a fucking therapist, right? But again, is she literally saying that, like, leftists, like, okay, so I just have to rewind this. Like, what? Like, people are being set on fire and leftists are like endorsing it?
Like a car, for instance. And so I was like, why are you guys cool with just having these people deal with this kind of violence? There was
like, left-wingers are cool with people being set on fire? Like, is she on like LSD? Like, what? Like in her world, right? People are being set on fire, which may or may not be true, right? But like, and leftists are just like, bro, man, just like, someone was just set on fire. How cool was that? Like, can someone point to me the Humanist Report video where like Mike is going out there like, bro, man, did you see, like, someone just got set on fire randomly? How cool is that, bro? Crime isn't real. Like what the fuck is she talking about, man? Like, I'm telling you, like, what? Now, if that is true, which it very well might be, where's the connection between people are being set on fire and the left is endorsing it? What? There
was like a phase last year where people were literally being set on fire randomly on buses. And that would get no attention, no news coverage, and it would infuriate me. And so when I opened up about what happened to me in my own neighborhood, what I thought was telling was how not everyone, but some people accuse me of pushing racist stereotypes. But I have never ever disclosed the race of these two individuals, ever.
Yeah.
But they just assumed that these two guys were black. They weren't black. They were two white guys. But like, I know.
Now, I would assume that because of all your other commentary on how black people are uppity and they don't deserve equal rights, that may be one of the reasons why they assume that, right? Again, Anna Kasparian goes on her show and says, black people protest? Bad. Black Lives Matter? Bad. Defund the police? Bad. She very clearly hates black people. That's just a fact. Whether or not she wants to dispute it, whatever, that's a fact. So whether her hatred of black people comes from, I don't know, watching a Ben Shapiro video or being sexually assaulted, whatever, doesn't matter. All we know is it's an indisputable fact that she hates black people based on her commentary. Okay? So, just saying.
I never shared that publicly because I didn't think the race really mattered, right? What actually happened mattered. And I thought the reaction to it by the people who were supposed to allegedly want dignity for everyone reacted to it. Like, that really bothered me.
I react to it by saying, go to therapy.
So that was the beginning of it. I would say that's what started me questioning everything and wanting to, like, look deeper into everything. And then other things happened. So the misrepresentation of what was happening to Asian Americans. So there would be all these videos of Asian Americans getting sucker punched or hit over the head with, you know, whatever. And the main narrative on the left was, this is anti-Asian hate. Yeah. But actually, if you look at all of those stories individually, it usually involved like a repeat criminal or someone who's just been left on the streets with severe mental health issues. Like, people...
Yeah. I just gotta say, she's literally... Again, she's dumb, so she doesn't understand that she's contradicting herself. But, like... What? So, leftists are cool with people being set on fire unless they're Asian, and then people are concerned about Asian hate, which does exist. Now, maybe you can say it's exacerbated. I'm open to that, right? But there are stories of, like, you know, Chinese grocery stores being vandalized and so forth. That does exist, right? And now, you can make an argument about, you know, whatever. Asian people are also just the victims of crimes, but it's like, she's literally just like, one minute, the leftists are saying crime isn't real. The next minute, they're saying it's too real. And it's like, what? It's almost like she's strawmanning what she considers the left.
Basically carrying out these acts of violence because they don't have their head in the right place, they need help, whatever it is. But, like, to just brush it off as, oh, it's just anti-Asian hate that's been inspired by the right wing, it just wasn't true.
Yeah.
But it was true. That's the thing. Now, whether or not every person who's Asian being the victim of a crime has something to do with it, it was objectively true. That Asian businesses were targeted. There are videos of people beating up Asian people on the street because of, you know, whatever fucking conspiracy. That is true. Now, again, I don't think anybody is saying every single person who's Asian who was a victim of any crime, it was only a victim because of Donald Trump's remarks on Asian people. That's ridiculous. I don't think anyone actually ever said that, right? So she's just making this fucking shit up. She is living in a fantasy world based on unprocessed trauma, and she, instead of going to a therapist, is deciding to just parrot neo-Nazi propaganda instead. What?
And, you know, I just thought it was wrong to frame it that way, when in reality there was a real issue with, you know, repeat offenders, and in some cases people with severe mental health issues, honestly, randomly targeting all sorts of people. But, you know, since a lot of this was happening in areas like San Francisco, where there's a sizable Asian population, the narrative on the left became, oh, it's just anti-Asian hate that's been inspired by the right. And I just didn't really see much evidence of that. Then there was the attacks on straight news journalists who were doing their jobs. For instance, when Li Fong was reporting on the BLM protests, when he was accurately reporting on the BLM protests and some of the violence that took place during those protests, his own colleagues at The Intercept tried to paint him as a racist. I've known Li Fong for many, many years, since I started working at TYT. The guy doesn't have a racist bone in his body. For them to paint him in that way, I thought was disgusting, and it had a chilling effect, right? The whole point is to intimidate journalists from doing accurate reporting on what's actually occurring on the ground. Then there was what happened to Jesse Singal, which I found disgusting. I didn't know about that until at some point this year. I would say earlier this year.
With the trans stuff? Jesse's been on the show before. Yeah, he's done great.
Jesse Singal is a good faith, I think, critical.
We're talking about motherfuckers that call black people violent criminals and purposefully edit clips to get rid of inciting incidents. Then if a black protester gets mad at somebody who does something insane, they'll start the tape right after the inciting incident and then show the black person responding and then going like, well, look how crazy these black people are. Yeah, that is racist. And then we're talking about a motherfucker that supports conversion therapy. She is saying that conversion therapy is good faith. If, at any point in time, you feel the need from this moment onward to defend this stupid, dumb bitch, you are being manipulated. You're being manipulated. She is a right-wing neo-Nazi propagandist, whether she acknowledges or even in her own mind understands that. That's what she is. That's what she has become, I should say. We can argue about whether or not she was good in the past, her track record, as a lot of people love to say. But she has become the avatar of the dumb left. And what is the dumb left of old? People that have left-wing credentials saying right-wing garbage. Right? And then eventually the Dave Rubins, the Jimmy Dores, they just hopped right in on the neo-Nazi campaigns. They don't even pretend to be lefties anymore. So there was a vacuum in the dumb left. And Anna Kasparian said,
thinker. I'm subscribed to Blocked and Reported. I have listened to endless podcast episodes from Blocked and Reported. I haven't seen anything from Jesse Singal that communicates to me that he is a transphobe, that he is a bad person. He did straight news reporting on basically what, some of the risks could be when it comes to transitioning literal kids with puberty blockers and then cross-sex hormones. And through his reporting, which I'm very sad to say I didn't really come across until this year, I learned that I was wrong about a bunch of other things, right? So for instance, it is a lie that puberty blockers are reversible. In some cases, they are not, and they can cause irreparable harm. And
I mean, we're only 22 minutes in, man. Do I need to go through the rest of this? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I've already been here for like 90 minutes and I'm... Now, I could sit here and I can debunk this crazy ass shit, but I don't have time for that. Right? If you fall for this garbage, that's on you. That's on you. Okay? But the same motherfucker that supports conversion therapy maybe is not a good source of information on how puberty blockers work. Consider it. Think about it. Yeah, if someone is on puberty blockers from age 9 until age 36, yeah, maybe there's going to be some adverse effects, right? But you know what? That doesn't fucking happen. That doesn't fucking happen. Nobody fucking does that. Okay? So, almost every time that puberty blockers are used, they are used for a short amount of time, essentially to buy time. Anna knows this, but to buy time for people to make another decision, right? Now, again, if you are on puberty blockers from like 6 years old to like 19, yeah, maybe, okay, maybe it's possible, but that doesn't happen. And maybe it's happened at least once, and well, now we have the information on that. But like that's like saying someone's doing heart surgery and they're doing an experimental heart surgery and it works great. Like 19 patients go by that signed up for this experimental heart surgery and they're doing great, and then the 20th patient, something bad happens, right? It happens, right? It's possible. Medical stuff is messy, right? Without puberty blockers, people can get sick. With puberty blockers, people can get sick. All kinds of things can happen. Does that mean the treatment is inherently bad? No. It means maybe we got to look into some other fucking shit and figure out exactly what are all the mechanisms of this. Because oftentimes, when you see these reports of puberty blockers that are damaging people, it's completely it's the same thing they do with the vaccine, right? Where someone gets the vaccine and dies in a car accident, and then they're like, it's the vaccine, right? These dumb motherfuckers, right? Someone can be on puberty blockers, have some sort of other thing happened to them, and then right-wingers are going to go like, look, they're on the puberty blockers, it's all that fault, right? But again, above all else, she's dumb. She doesn't understand this fucking shit. And she's like, oh, conversion therapy? Yeah, I'm all in on conversion therapy. She's a TERF. She's a Nazi. She's a bigot. She's a racist. And if she doesn't want to be, she has the power not to be. This infantilizing behavior, right? That people say, oh, Anna's a good friend of mine. She's just she's an adult. I'm sorry, man. If you are working at the Young Turks, I'm gonna look up their fucking show thing again. Hold up. I'm gonna go down the list on their own website. There might be more. I don't know. I don't know how accurate and up to date their website is. Right? Do they have like a list of staff? I'm not sure. The Damage Report with John Idarola. Where the fuck are you, bitch? Where the fuck are you, you pussy? Indisputable with Rashad Ritchie. Indisputable? My asshole. Where the fuck are you? The Watch List with J.R. Jackson. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this? Oh, but she's your friend, so it's okay. My friend being a neo-Nazi's fine. I'm not gonna say anything about it. It's okay. Unbossed with Nina Turner. Yeah, her boss is a neo-Nazi, but that's fine. Everything's cool. My boss is a neo-Nazi. I work with neo-Nazis, but hey, everything's fine. And that's all they have listed on their site. So I don't know if they have any more, but the rest of them, they don't have any people's faces. If someone wants to get me a full staff list, I'm down to say all the names. But you know who you are.
Look, you might think, okay, but you got to do a balancing act. And if a child or if a teenager had severe gender dysphoria and it would actually be better for that person to go on puberty blocks. Okay, I mean, we should be able to balance that out. But my point here is withholding the information because you don't like the information getting out there ain't the way to go, because that destroys any opportunity for us to actually have a good faith debate about what we should do moving forward. What are the pros and
Again, we're talking about a motherfucker who is a prominent advocate of fucking conversion therapy camps. Conversion fucking therapy camps. Good faith. Good faith.
cons? So there's that. You know, all of this stuff just, it started adding up. And through listening to Blocked and Reported, I found out I got a lot of stories wrong as well. Rebecca Jones ended up being a liar and a grifter. And I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that had I not, you know, opened my mind up to other voices.
Rebecca Jones was the one that went after DeSantis, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And she's a complete liar. And we uplifted her, we enabled her, and I feel disgusting that we did that. So I issued a retraction and a correction on that story. I don't know what the reaction was.
My reaction was good.
Yeah.
What is some of the reaction? Like, one of the problems that we often have, you know, obviously we're labeled right wingers all the time. Anyone who watches our show knows we're pretty much like disaffected liberals. Like to call us right wing is just, I mean, it's kind of laughable. But we are constantly called right wingers just because we don't straw man the arguments that are made on the right. And so many people on the left, you know, all they are familiar with is the straw man version of the trans issue or some particular news story. So what is some of the reaction that you have gotten to that?
Well, I mean, the reaction has not been great. I mean, look, that leftist mafia stream was unbelievable to me. Like the accusations that were thrown out there.
I'm telling you, motherfucker. I watched that same stream. I watched that same leftist mafia stream. And again, I love those guys. But like, wow. Like, we're talking about like kid gloves within, like, you know, the Russian dolls? Like, they put the kid gloves on, right? Then they put the kid gloves on again. Then they put the kid gloves on again. And then they put the kid gloves on again. Right? And then they painted butterflies. And they put glitter and rainbows on the kid gloves. And then they got a fucking boombox, motherfucker. And they popped in Kids Bop number 6 with that video. Okay? The idea that she could be triggered by that leftist mafia thing from 3 months ago, which I know the one she's talking about, is absurd to me. Is absurd to me. They did not say what needed to be said. Olay, to give her credit, went as far as she needed to go, but none of the other hosts on the leftist mafia went that far, right? But she's going to throw the leftist mafia under the bus because she's afraid to say Olay was insane? And why is she afraid to say that? Think about it. Why is she afraid to say Ole is insane? So she's going to throw the whole show under the bus. Think about it. Think about that for a second. Why? Because she's a pussy. And she's afraid to say what she really thinks. She hates black people. I need you to understand this. She hates fucking black people. Okay? That's it. That's it. Because I watched that video. And credit to everyone else for all the other shit they do. Mike, David, Lance, Matt. You know, Matt was a little, you know, he was pretty good on that. But, like, most of them were just like... jamming out the kids bop, okay? So, let's keep going.
Ole.
By the way, this chat is epic, right? Look at this fucking shit. We got Sargon of Akkad in here. We got all this fucking... Is anyone, like, looking at this fucking chat room, by the way? Like, I'm trying to, like, half read the super chats, and it's all right-wing garbage, right? But, like, I don't want to focus on that too much. But, I mean, you got Sargon of Akkad in your fucking program, and you're gonna claim not to be right-wing. Like, Jesus fucking goddamn Christ, man.
Implying that I'm racist because as a woman, I don't want to be called a birthing person. Like, that has... I mean, race didn't come up at all until she brought it up. And then she was the only one on that stream who brought race into it and, like, made it abundantly clear that she's got an issue with white women and just thinks they're all the same and, like, you know, whatever. and then after I basically called her out on it, she's like, oh, you're attacking me and only me because I'm black. And it's like, no, you're the only one in that group of people who attacked me and accused me of being racist because I personally want to be called a woman. So
now, I will say, I watched that same stream and Matt Binder also co-signed everything Ole said, right? And it's interesting. It is interesting, right, that Anna Kasparian didn't do a Matt Binder is a problematic person rant, right? It's interesting. It is interesting, right? It's definitely interesting.
Oh, I mean,
I'm not sure that they fully understand the damage that accusation can do. And if they do, that makes it even more...
They understand.
Okay.
They understand.
I mean, that makes it even more horrible. I think she published a video of you that was you saying the N-word. And it was back when, you know, YouTube didn't have this big prohibition on saying the N-word. And you weren't... It's not like you were calling people the N-word. You were using... quoting stories. So all of these are taken out of context, which is completely unfair.
Yeah, I mean, look, so it's really funny because that compilation video wasn't made by her. If you guys remember, at some point last year, everyone was going after Rogan for saying the N-word. And so someone on the left had made a compilation video of all the times he had said the N-word on his podcast. And then in response to that, someone on the right made a compilation of all the times, like, I had said the N-word, right? Or me and Cenk had said the... So someone on the right made that video. And we had a company meeting, the producers, everyone, we got together, and this is like years and years ago. The last time we actually uttered that word on air was in 2012. But we sat down, we talked about whether we should actually say the word when we're quoting someone that we are condemning as racist, or should we sanitize it and say N-word instead? And so we had a vote, and we decided at the time that it was better to actually read the quotes verbatim as opposed to sanitizing it. And I knew it would eventually come back to bite me in the ass. And it did. And I'm not going to apologize for it because context matters, intention matters. And what people like Ole are trying to do is erase all of that, right? To make it seem as though intention is totally irrelevant, context is totally irrelevant. If she says someone's racist, then by definition, that person is racist. End of story, period.
Yo. It's not about you saying the N-word in 2012 when you read a quote. That's not what it's about, you stupid fucking bitch. That's not what it's about. It's about what you're saying right now. And it's juxtaposing that with your statements prior. That's what it's about. It's about juxtaposing earlier in your career with current you in your career. Now, fine. Whatever. If you want to do the whole, it's a context, I was reading a quote thing, whatever. Own up to it. You fucked up. You fucked up. Okay? If you are a white person and you're trying to make a joke saying the N-word, you fucked up. Okay? It's that simple. It's not hard to admit, hey, I fucked up. It's not hard. If you fuck up, you fuck up. There's so many white people that I know, myself included, that have made really awful jokes And then you know what? We say, wow, we fucked up. I'm not gonna defend a shitty joke I made when I was fucking 15, who cares? It's a fucked up thing to say. So the fact that she's like going back in time and trying to like say everything was fine back then too, when it's like you made a mistake. You made a mistake. It's okay. I mean, I'm not saying you're canceled forever if you make a fucking mistake, motherfucker. But when you're going back in time and trying to say like, yeah, it wasn't a mistake, everything I did was perfect actually. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
And I just disagree. I also disagree with racism of all sorts, right? So I find it disgusting when people make generalizations about Black people or migrants or any group. Why would I somehow be okay making generalizations about white women or white people, right? So I find it gross and divisive. And look, at the center of all of this is I've been doing this shit for like 17 years and things have gotten worse. And I just don't think whatever strategy the left thinks they're engaging in is an effective strategy. I think it's actually caused more harm than good. I think their rhetoric and their discourse is a lot.
Motherfucker, this bitch is like, I've been in the most prominent left-wing news network, the home of progressives. The Young Turks is the biggest leftist news network, and the left failed, and it's not my fault. You know, I'm the co-host of the largest left-wing news network, her words. But, like, the left has gone too far, and we failed. I mean, they have failed. They have failed. You know, I've been here for 17 years. I've been on the left for 17 years. I've been in the most prominent left-wing groups for 17 years. And not we, they failed. She can't admit a mistake. Even like, in her why I left the left kind of context, she can't even admit a mistake. I mean, Jesus. What the fuck?
A lot of times ignorant of the facts. And I think that they go around accusing people of doing things that they themselves engage in. And I was part of that too. I'm trying to do better moving forward. Okay. But a lot of people are going to look.
All right, well, at least, okay. I'll give her some credit there. You know, for at least being a little bit more internally consistent. She's still dumb, she's still wrong, she's still a Nazi piece of shit. But at least she's a little bit more internally consistent.
Look at this and think, oh, well, then that means she's a right-winger. Whatever, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care what you label me as, but...
Just not birthing person.
Don't call me birthing person. Person with the uterus. Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame you at all, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my labels are at this point, because I don't fit in anywhere, I feel like.
You feel like you're becoming politically homeless maybe a little bit.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
What do you think's causing sort of this shift in the left and in media? Or, I mean, first of all, I'm assuming you think there is a shift that's happening in the left and in media.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because, you know, a lot of them, LARP is like anti-capitalist, like revolutionaries. Or
LARP, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to tell you this full stop. I agree. There is no left in this country. The left died a long time ago, okay? Long time ago. Right? The Bernie Sanders movement was reanimating the zombified corpse of an American left. And then as soon as Bernie went away, guess what? That corpse went right back to the graveyard, okay? There is no left in this country. But I'm not gonna say the left has failed and then go to the right. You know what I mean? I talk about this on my show a lot. Yeah, the left is fucked. There is no left. Okay? But you know what that does? It motivates me to be even more left wing. It motivates me to look at even more aspects of society and question them. It motivates her to just rake in the neo-Nazi cash money. So notice that. Notice that difference between me and Anna. Because I've talked about this on my show all year so far in 2023. About how there is no left. The left in this country pretends that COVID is not real. DSA is banning disabled people from their chapters because they want mask mandates. Right? There is no left in this country. Now, we can say never has been. There's been the appearance at times of a left. But that's not going to make me turn into a right-winger or a Nazi or a fucking whatever the fuck she's turning into. I think, damn, I'm disappointed with the left. I'm going to be even more strong in my principles. My principles, I have to carry them even more intensely. I have to focus on things even more intensely because the left is failing. Anna is like, well, The left's failing. Huh. Adolf Hitler. Maybe he ain't got so bad ideas after all. Really? If that's your response, right? If that's your response to a perceived problem in the left is to become a right-winger, I mean, Jesus Christ.
But it's true. And so it's really funny because what they do is they are positioning themselves to attract a very specific niche in audiences, right? So they're going for the purists, the people who like to think of themselves as like far left, communist, socialist, whatever. But like the whole thing is, I mean, you can see it in the various streams. Like they'll talk about things through the lens of we're the most pure, like we're the most sincere in what we're saying, whatever.
The real
and,
left,
like,
yeah.
Exactly, we're the real left. So when they do that, what ends up happening is they become more and more extreme in what they are saying, right? In what they.
What's extreme? Now, I'm telling you this. I have right-wingers that watch my show. I have liberals that watch my show. Even worse than both of those, I have TYT fans that watch my show. Hey-o! Right? But I don't mind. My goal is to bring people closer to my ideology. What is my ideology? Peace, love, happiness, equality. But you know what else is a core plank of my ideology? Is I understand we can't get there by singing Kumbaya. I understand we can't achieve peace without force. Okay? We have to force the right to give up. Not join them. That's not how you fucking be a real leftist. By marching in lockstep with Nazis? I'm sorry. Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay? If some motherfucker comes in my show and says some crazy shit, I'm willing to tell them why what they're saying is wrong. Now, if someone comes into my show and just spams racial or whatever slurs, yeah, I'm gonna ban them, whatever. They're just trolling. But it's like, I'm telling you. Now, she's going to probably go into how far left and extreme left people like me are. And I will tell you, I consider myself extremely extreme left. I'm telling you that right now, Anna Kasparian has no idea how left-wing people like me are or people that watch my show. Okay? If she's talking about these fucking college freshmen, like, I read Karl Marx, so now I'm a super Leninist kind of people, yeah, fuck them. They're LARPers. Fuck them. They're dumb. There's a lot of dummies that claim to be leftist. There's a lot of these college sophomore, you know, I have a t-shirt with Vladimir Lenin on my fucking, you know, hanging on my wall kind of motherfuckers. Yeah, they're dumb. They're cringy. But that's not extreme left. That's just a kid who, you know, instead of wearing a fucking Black Flag t-shirt, wants to try to be a little bit more edgy in a different direction, okay? Those aren't leftists, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, right now, the leftist mafia is not extreme left, okay? That is like milquetoast left. Shout outs to them, whatever. But they're milquetoast left. They're fucking sock dens at the fucking, you know, I'm telling you right now, Anna Kasparian has never met an actual leftist. I'm telling you that. And I challenge her to a debate. That's what this whole thing is about. I challenge this dumbass bitch to come on my show, okay? I'll give her credit if she comes on here and talks to a real fucking leftist. I'll give her credit. But it's not about purity. For me, I don't give a fuck about purity, okay? I give a fuck about changing hearts and minds. If someone says something that I deem incorrect, I want to change their mind so that they agree with me, right? It's not about purity. It's not about you must burn at the stake for disagreeing with me. Jesus goddamn Christ, okay? Birthing people, am I right?
They claim to believe. And at the heart of that, like what they're actually doing is trying to attract a niche audience for what? To make money. Like I think there's a financial motive behind it. You know, they're competing with one another for.
I'm telling you this right now. Now, Anna Kasparian doesn't know who I am. I know that, right? She maybe has seen me pop up in her notifications at some point, but she doesn't know me. Now, I'm telling you, I don't care about money. I don't give a fuck about money. I don't. If I gave a fuck about money, you know what I would do? I wouldn't do this, first of all. But I don't give a shit about money. If I got banned tomorrow, I got demonetized last week, and it sucks, right? Because it was a fake strike. But the money was the least of my concerns. I don't give a shit about the money. I'm more upset about the fake strike that I got. And again, that was rectified. They fixed it, right? So again, when she says they do it all for the money, I want you to think about it that she is projecting. She has internalized this because that's what she does. Or rather, in her mind and her story, that's what she did. And she's projecting that on everyone else. But not everyone in the media space does it for money. I don't do it for money. I don't give a shit about money. If I lost all my money tomorrow, I've been poor my whole life. I don't know about Anna Kasparian, okay? I've been poor my whole fucking life. I lose some money. What are you gonna do? I'm already adapted to being poor. I already know how to be poor. I don't do this for money. And so again, clip that, send it to Anna, tell her, challenging this bitch, okay? If you want to talk to a pure leftist who doesn't care about money, HMU, holla.
Or, a particular niche, a particular ideology that's reflected in these audiences. And I think I'm probably self-sabotaging right now, career-wise. But I don't know. The problem is once you see certain things, you can't unsee them. And I can't just lie. I can't do it with a straight face. It's just not who I am.
What do you mean? Are you talking self-sabotaging by talking to us or talking about these things in general? Because it's an interesting dynamic that we have here on the internet, because I do agree with you. We've talked about this on the show many, many times. Like, the incendiary voices in the political space are the ones that get attention, blow their channels up, get views, become rich, basically.
Yeah,
conflict entrepreneurs is what I always call them. And we're in a kind of a, we are in the same kind of position that you've kind of come to. Like, we want to give an honest, a fair assessment of both sides of the argument and try to kind of come to some sort of truth.
I love that they're claiming that, like, the chaos agent kind of conflict thing, well, they're doing the same thing, man. I mean, do these people have no self-awareness? Do these motherfuckers have no goddamn self-awareness at all? Like, fuck.
And one of the paths that I think we've kind of fell into is just, I think us, Sich and I, arguing points makes it interesting enough that we can kind of build an audience. And watching the videos of you last week, it kind of feels like that's kind of the direction you're going. It seems like Jank is saying over the top things and you're reeling him in, which is, I got to tell you, when I'm watching your show, I'm going, oh.
We're supposed to believe that Cenk Uygur is a leftist. I mean, if that's what these people, if that's like the plank that this whole conspiracy babble hinges on, that Cenk is actually an ultra leftist, man. Like, wow.
Look, Anna is just like Sich. She won't let Cenk have any fun.
Are you saying you're the one saying over the top things?
Look, constantly. And Sich is like no, Adam, that we don't know that yet. So, but I think our audience understands that there's a little bit of a dynamic going there. That's fun, but at the same time, they are getting the information. So, unfortunately for my reputation, it's like, don't listen to Adam. He's always.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, again, credit to Cenk, because he's not like one of these like people who gets super offended if you correct him right there on the spot. It's just,
That's not true, man. Cenk has internet meltdown after internet meltdown after internet meltdown after internet meltdown anytime anyone criticizes him about anything. Like, I'm talking like how can you know someone for 17 years and not see that? Like, this guy's entire Twitter feed is, someone criticized me, oh dear heavens, I'm going to talk about it on my show for 10 hours. Like, this guy is the most thin-skinned little cocksucker I've ever seen on the internet, Cenk Uygur. Right, but now we're supposed to believe that he's actually a strong, principled guy who's a man of his word and doesn't believe in censorship. All right.
kind of went along with some of the more hyperbolic commentary, mostly because I was reading the same sources and I had the same, I think he's doing better and better. Like we have a lot of conversations about a lot of these issues privately, and I'll just be like, look.
So Sich does the same thing to me.
Yeah. And I'll just be like, look. I mean, before he was going to go, he asked me if I thought it was a good idea that he was going to go debate Destiny, and I said no. And it's mostly because I see a lot of clickbaity stuff going on in that realm too, like with some of the debate stuff that takes place. But also I asked him, like, what are you guys going to debate? So first he said, oh, we're going to talk about like the Democratic Party and our disagreements about it. I was fine with that. But then he mentioned, he's like, and then we're going to talk about Rittenhouse.
No!
So he knew Rittenhouse was going to come up.
Yeah, I think they agreed on the topics ahead of time.
Okay, wow, okay.
And you know, we had it. Look, Jake is his own man. The best I can do is share my perspective. And I just told him, I was like, but he was acting in self-defense. Like, but look, Jake just has a different perspective. It is what it is. Like, I'm not here to talk shit about Jake. You know, like we and again, I want to give him credit because we can have the conversation on air, this exact conversation, and he's going to say the exact same thing. I'm going to say my piece, and it's not going to lead to like an uncomfortable relationship with him. It's not going to lead to retaliation. And I really commend him for having an open mind. But to him, he just disagrees about it being self-defense. He thinks like he didn't need to like shoot the gun. He didn't need to kill people. I hear you. I wish it didn't end that way. But if I were in his shoes, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that is the biggest admission out of all of this. And I'm just letting y'all know, I don't know if I'm going to get through the 2 hours here. Okay? I'm just letting you all know. But that's the biggest admission. Anna Kasparian says, if I were in Kyle Rittenhouse's shoes, I would have done the same thing. Now, I feel like I could sit here, right, drop the mic, end the show with that, but I'm going to keep going a little bit longer. But, I mean, that tells you everything you really need to know on this one.
I probably would have prayed and sprayed. So, I mean, Rittenhouse did the right thing. Like, it's a good thing he was in control of the weapon instead of me. So,
yeah.
It's funny that, like, this gets thrown around a lot. Like, people accuse you of grifting or other people of grifting when they start changing their beliefs, even though it's like you're changing your beliefs in a way that would like be more likely to hurt your career as opposed to help it.
I know.
Yeah, it's like insane.
That's not true. When you start saying right-wing garbage, when you also have been in media for 17 years and you know the right wing has billionaires and billionaires and billionaires and billionaires funding them. Look at Steven Crowder, just got like, what, $100 million contract or some shit? Man, it's like, if I were like grifting, man, then I would not even be going after all the... if I were really grifting, this is Anna Kasparian, I would be like saying, you know, the opposite of what the billionaires want me to say. But I'm saying exactly what the billionaires want me to say, so how can it be grifting? How can it be grifting if I'm saying exactly what the billionaires are paying everyone else to say? How can that be grifting, bro? Dumb motherfuckers.
Because you know what, like what so many people on the internet want is they just want you to choose one side very comfortably and to like fit into it and to just say like these are the hyperbolic talking points. And then if you're like, well, let's add some nuance here, which pisses off your audience more often than not, you're like, well, you're a grifter. Like, well, who am I grifting to exactly?
So I'm going to stick up for my audience a little bit because to their credit, I think the majority of people in the audience are open-minded and are open to new information. I think that there is a small but very loud minority.
I am telling you, this has been what I've been saying for the last while, but especially for the last week, is the Young Turks exists to move liberals to the right. That's why they're existing. That is their entire contribution to society. Now, you can make a claim that previously they existed to bring right-wingers to the liberal ideology, not to the left, but to the liberal side of things, right? You can make that argument. But as of the constitution of the show now, in July 2023, they exist to bring liberals to the right. That's their mission, that's their goal, that's their effect.
In our audience and on the left in general that really give the left a bad name. I think they're overrepresented on Twitter and they're children. They act like children. I think some of them literally are like minors and they see everything. And look, if they're young, I don't blame them. I think when you are young, it's a little more difficult to grasp nuance and how complicated and complex a lot of these issues are. You know, one of the things that Jesse Singles says all the time that I love, and he says it repeatedly, is it's complicated because it is. Like all of these issues are way more complicated than the way they're being portrayed.
This is a fallacious way of thinking that I see often in these enlightened centrist neo-Nazi fuckers. Is they just say, it's like so complicated, man, that no one could ever understand it. But like, you could understand it if you wanted to. Right? Like, we can have a real conversation, but they never do that. They just go, man, it's like nuance, bro. You just gotta like, you know, we're never gonna get into the nuance, of course, you know, it's always a moving target, but it's like nuance, bro.
in partisan media. And so what I want to do is actually understand those complexities. But here's the other thing. Understand the other side in good faith, okay? Because I think that there are some stereotypes that the left has kind of bought into about what the arguments are on the other side. And, you know, it doesn't make us sharper to misrepresent what the other side is actually saying. It actually makes us weaker. If you understand what their arguments are, it'll then allow you to reflect on what your own weaknesses might be in regard to the arguments that you're making. And so...
I mean, this is rich coming from this stupid-ass bitch, as if she has any fucking self-reflection at all. Like, all she's doing is she is looking at her positions, and then she's responding to what's in her fucking media bubble, while she's claiming she's doing the opposite. She just changed her bubble. That's it. She didn't pop the bubble. She changed the bubble, right? She exchanged it. She got a bubble she didn't like for Christmas, went back to the store, put that bubble back, and got a different fucking bubble. That's it.
And then one other thing, and this was an unexpected outcome that I was talking to my husband about just last night. I've been a lot happier lately, like a lot happier. And I think it's because once you actually, and look, I want to make the...
You're a lot happier because you were experiencing unprocessed trauma, and instead of dealing with the issues internally, you are addicted to work. Work is an addiction, right? And she is escaping having to deal with unprocessed trauma by being addicted to work. That's what's happening. I don't want to be an armchair psychologist here. I'm not an expert or anything. That's my diagnosis as a non-expert, as an amateur. She has had a traumatic experience being sexually assaulted on the street, and instead of dealing with that internally, she is turning to drugs in the form of work addiction, and she is changing how she does work, right? By going on a bunch of right-winger shows. Conveniently, she's not debating any left-wingers because she's afraid. She's afraid to debate people like me. She's afraid to go on the leftist mafia. She's a little pussy bitch, right? And I need you all to understand that this is indefensible, right? So if I have any of these dumb motherfuckers, like, that are trying to come in here and tell me she can be saved, I don't think so, man. If she could be saved, we wouldn't have gotten here.
Distinction and like draw out a caveat. I'm not talking about like far right, like militia members. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about just mainstream conservatives, Republicans, whatever. Once you actually understand what their arguments are or where they're coming from, it's a lot more difficult to be hyperbolic about things, right? Yeah. And so you kind of start seeing the world around you for what it really is. And there's a certain amount of fear that kind of starts to dissipate, a certain amount of like hyperbolic thinking that starts to go away. And you start to see things a lot more clearly. And the world isn't as messed up as people would have you believe. And that's a good thing.
So the world isn't messed up as people want you to believe. Now, I don't know what the fuck... Like, you'll notice, by the way, there's no specifics. Because if there were specifics, we could actually pick this shit apart. But there are no specifics. It's just a bunch of theys and thems. You know. Who knows who they are? I don't know. It's the left, the right. Woo! It's a bunch of nebulous concepts, no specifics. But I don't, like, honestly, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, you have to understand the right? Like, give me an example. Because if your example is Rittenhouse, you clearly don't understand. If your example is conversion therapy for trans kids, you clearly don't understand, right? So tell me what, I don't even know, man. Like, this bitch is on drugs. And again, I say drug in the sense of she is addicted to work and she is letting her unprocessed trauma dip into her work addiction, and that's why she feels happy, right? If you're depressed and, like, you start dabbing some fatties, you know, you're gonna feel better. Why? Because that's what drugs do. That's what escapism does. And am I saying escapism is bad per se? No. I love doing drugs, right? I love escaping. But I love escaping for temporary periods of time and then coming back to the real world and then processing my trauma and then dealing with my feelings and emotions. People like Anna don't do that. They just run and run and run, and eventually they find themselves surrounded by neo-Nazis and they go, How did I get here? Whatever, I'm already here.
Now, some people might get super offended at me saying that because they've completely bought into the hyperbolic thinking and they think the world's coming to an end. And there are terrible things happening. I don't want to minimize that. But we need to be realistic about what's actually transpiring in the country. And for areas where we need improvement,
we need to be realistic about what's actually transpiring. So that's why COVID is no longer real. Joe Biden won on COVID. Praise Joe Biden. Let's all go outside without masks on. Like I'm saying, when you escape from reality, it is a lot more comfortable than engaging in reality. And again, the pandemic is one of the easiest ways I can talk about this. There is an ongoing pandemic. In Canada, they have found out that the raw COVID numbers are actually approximately 20 times what the government is being reported, okay? Canada's government is more cautious on COVID than the United States. We can extrapolate that if in certain areas of Canada, there's a 20 times the actual count is 20 times less than the real count. Imagine what it is in the United States. And meanwhile, these guys pretend the pandemic's over. Why? Because it's easier to escape reality than to deal with reality. Okay? Now, if anyone has any questions on, I don't want to spend all day here on this, but, feel free to ask questions and I can elaborate more on that kind of stuff.
Or different policy solutions, we should actually have good faith debates about it and come up with those solutions. And I think that the current discourse is standing in the way of that.
Mm-hmm. That's really fast. I never thought about that but it makes perfect sense if people go into politics and have this very the other side is either composed of all racists who want to enable some kind of fascistic regime against me, or the other side is all made of communists who want to take over the country. It's gonna put you in this headspace. You're like, oh my god, I'm in this fight for my life. This is the most important thing ever. And then you're like, well, once you start to see there's small pockets of that.
Transgender people in this country are losing their rights all over the fucking country. I get it. Anna Kasparian doesn't give a fuck about trans people because she's a Nazi piece of shit. If you are simping for Anna, I'm done with your bitch ass. I'm calling you out if you simp for this fucking moron. In the same way that if you simp for Candace Owens, I'm calling your bitch ass out. So to any people out there that are listening, I'm telling you, it's over. I'm on the war path with the Young Turks and all of their fans, all of their enablers, and especially all of the people that fund them. If you subscribe to the Young Turks, I am going to be a whirlwind that fucks your fun up online. You're gonna have to block my ass if you want to have a normal internet life, whatever. I'm telling you right now, this is some neo-Nazi shit.
Exist, but the average person is not that. You're like, oh my god, this weight has been lifted from my shoulder. I don't feel like the world is about to end.
Yeah, totally.
I want to say two things. First of all, and I don't know your take on Jordan Peterson, but it is the first rule is tell the truth. And I feel like coming to a place in your life where you're like, I feel like I'm honestly telling the truth now.
The same motherfucker who... do we really need to talk about Jordan Peterson? This guy believes in Jesus. This guy believes in God. Do we really need to listen to some Jesus freak tell the truth? This guy misrepresents every study he's ever talked about. Tell the truth. What does Anna have to say about Jordan Peterson?
Can see where that would make me feel completely better. I'm one of these people who just hates thinking I'm being dishonest, or if I'm in a position where I'm forced to be dishonest for a job or something like that. I just, it's horrifying for me. So, and I do think it is kind of politically expedient for a lot of people to categorize far-right, racist, Nazi pieces of shit who, none of us are in favor of, for moderate Republicans who just want, some, they have a different spin on some sort of policy prescription.
Moderate Republicans across the country are eradicating child labor laws. These are moderate Republicans. Forcing kids to go pack meat and get their arms ripped off. Moderate Republicans. Are pretending that climate change is not real, even though we are dealing with week number 7 of a wildfire, however long it's been, wildfire smoke across 1/3 of the country. There's a heat wave going on in the south. People are dying. There's videos of people dropping dead of heat stroke. because moderate Republicans slashed air conditioning, slashed the electric grid in Texas, for example. Moderate Republicans are adding more cops to the streets that kill more black people and exponential rates. Moderate Republicans are the ones fucking the tax brackets up so that poor people have no money and rich people have all the money. Moderate Republicans are the ones going against voting rights for black people in the South and crafting gerrymandered districts so that black people cannot have as many representatives in office. Moderate Republicans are telling transgender people, you are not allowed to go to the doctor even if you are 20 years old in some of these states. Why? Well, because we're a moderate Republican. To pretend that moderate Republicans are actually in any way different than neo-Nazis is to be falling for the scam. I'm sorry. Now, are these guys going to explain the differences? No. And maybe if they will, they're going to use some superficial garbage. But I'm telling you, motherfuckers, the Young Turks is a neo-Nazi network. They have been taken over from the inside. The call is coming from inside the house. Anyone and everyone affiliated with TYT should be ashamed of themselves. Because you're all a bunch of enabling scumbags. Do I need to go to the show page? In fact, fuck it. Let's go to the show page live on stream. If anyone has like an actual full like list of all the characters, like the Super Smash Brothers roster, right? So look at these guys. Look at these fucking scumbags and enablers. You think these guys are gonna stand up? You think J.R. Jackson is gonna fucking stand up for fucking trans rights? You think John Idarola is gonna stand up for trans rights? You think Rashad Ritchie is gonna stand up for trans rights? You think Nina Turner is gonna stand up for trans rights? These people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck because they're afraid to lose their platform. They're afraid to lose their dollar bills. They're afraid to lose their position on the hierarchy because these people believe in a hierarchy and they believe that hierarchy has value. I don't. I say fuck the hierarchy. If what I say is unpopular, so fucking be it. If I'm on a website and that website's promoting neo-Nazi garbage, I call it out. I'm on YouTube right now. YouTube funds neo-Nazis. When I got a YouTube strike for some bullshit, what did I do? I called YouTube a bunch of dumb cocksuckers on Twitter, and then their bots responded to me saying, I'm not a dumb cocksucker. They didn't actually say that, but they responded to my tweets calling them cocksuckers. I don't buckle to my boss. I've never had a boss because I don't want a boss. I don't buckle to authority like these scumbags. Like scumbag fuckface Rashad Ritchie, John Idarola, Nina Turner, J.R. Jackson. And I'm sure there's other people, but you know, whatever. Fucking Brett Elric. I don't know what other shows they have. I don't watch these people, okay? These people are enablers. They're pussies. They're betas. And they care more about their position on the totem pole than they care about the things that they pretend that they care about on their show. Trans people, trans rights is a flag and flag only. It's not a lifestyle. It's not an ideology. It's a flag. It's a t-shirt. It's a hat for these people. They don't give a fuck. Let's go back to the main subject.
Which my thinking of the world is, you know, you've got the conservatives on the right who are kind of playing defense for society, and you have liberals and progressives on the right who are kind of, or on the left, who are kind of playing offense for society. They're the ones that are pitching all of these crazy policies for making society better, and conservatives are kind of saying, well, we're kind of good where we are now. Should we take the risk of doing this? And you really need, I mean, what sports team
If you actually believe that conservatives are like, should we actually take the risk when it comes to climate change? How many fucking people are dying because of heat stroke, motherfucker? How many people? I have people in my family, right, that are in the hospital because of wildfire smoke fucking up their breathing. They can't breathe because of weeks and weeks and weeks of wildfire smoke. And they're in the hospital. They're in and out of the hospital because they can't breathe. Because Republicans are like, is it worth the risk? They're killing us. They're killing us. Motherfucker, they're killing us. This is a conspiracy theory to pretend as if there is such a thing as a moderate Republican. And I also want to say I throw liberals and Democrats in the same category. Liberals and Democrats are in the current constitution, right, of the world, they're in the same category as right-wingers. Now, again, we can play the game of harm reduction. I'd rather have a Democrat in office than a Republican, but I'd rather have a human in office than a Democrat any day of the week. And pretending, this is like that thing where you ever see people compare Cuban grocery stores to the United States and they say, look at how many products we have in the United States, right? You ever see this? Look at our choices. Look at the grocery store shelves. Look how many choices we have. But they don't realize that food comes from 5 companies. And in politics in America, it's the same thing, but instead of 5 companies, it's 1. It's the billionaire class and the fascists versus everyone else. And they've got an extensive amount of disinformation training. They have an extensive amount of chaos agents in their ranks. They have an extensive amount of disinformation artists in their ranks to spread their garbage, to give you the illusion that you have the choice. Am I conservative? Am I a Nazi? Am I a liberal? Am I a commie? As if these are all the same thing and you pick what flavor you want when you're getting your Slurpee at the Slurpee machine. But it's not an illusion, or rather, it's not a choice. It's the illusion of choice. There is no choice here. They're all being funded by the same fuckers at the end of the day. The Young Turks is being funded by the same fuckers that are funding the Daily Wire. At the end of the day, where does this money come from? Comes from the oppressors. And anyone that still has this toddler-esque view of the world where it's like so many people have so many different ideas, man. It's like opinions, bruh. I'm sorry, go fuck yourself. Not only should you fuck yourself, but you should fuck yourself in such a unique way that, like, words don't even exist in the English language for me to properly describe how you should be fucking yourself. Use your imagination.
That doesn't have a good offense and a good defense is going to be a winning team. So a lot of the political polarization I see as part of the problem here. And one of the nice things about you is starting to realize, there are people on the right that aren't just crazy, insane racists. And maybe you can communicate their arguments clearly to your audience, which is a great position to be in.
There are 2 right-wingers. The Nazis and the Nazis who don't know they're Nazis. Those are the 2 right-wingers. If you want to come on my show, Sich, Adam, or Anna, feel free. Let's do a program. There are Nazis on the right, and there are Nazis on the right who don't realize they're Nazis yet. Pick your team. Pick your poison.
Yeah, we might be able to deal with some of the political polarization.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are, look, I disagree with many of the policy ideas they have or the perspectives they espouse, but there are good faith, thoughtful, conservative Republicans out there. Like, I think Glenn Loury is a good example. Again, I might not agree with everything he has to say, but he's a thoughtful person, and he is not in any way justifying,
Can you really be a thoughtful person if you believe in God? Can you really be a thoughtful person if you believe in Jesus? Can you really be a thoughtful person if you believe in capitalism? To have your life be consumed and operated by religion, because that's what capitalism is. That's what Jesus is. It's a religion. These are religions. When your life lives inside the confines, the chains, the cage of religious thinking, are you really thoughtful? Are you really thoughtful? I'm just asking questions, bro. I'm just curious, I just want to know.
White supremacy or some of the hyperbolic things that he might get accused of by those on the left. And again, it's really about understanding in good faith the other side and being able to, I guess, debate the issues as opposed to what I see happening right now is I want the left to engage in the argument as opposed to what I see happening, which is them engaging in ad hominem in a lot of cases, character assassination or statements about the individual's character based on their preconceived notions and based on what they heard other streamers say about.
Again, whenever these people do an argument like this, there's never an example. There's never specifics. It's a nebulous fucking vibes, man. I'm getting these vibes are off, bro. It's the vibes are off, man. Whoa.
About the individual. It's okay, just take a step back for a second. you need to address the point that this person is making. And if you're not addressing the point that this person is making, and instead you're turning around and throwing all sorts of like accusations at them to make them seem like they're immoral or they're bad people, then that tells me that you don't really have an answer to what they're saying.
If you believe in the institution of policing, you are immoral. Now, do I say that meaning you're canceled for life? No. I say that because I want you to fucking, I don't know, wake up. Take the red pill. You know, the real red pill, not this conservative propaganda red pill. We're talking about watch The Matrix and take the actual red pill from the fucking movie, from the source material, and look at capitalism for what it really is. A big machine that controls your life. If you let a religion such as capitalism control your life, you're living in a cage. You're plugged into the Matrix, motherfucker. Okay, motherfuckers?
You know, and I see that happening more when it comes to culture war related issues as opposed to economic issues. And that's the other thing. I mean, I think
there is no such thing as a culture war. There is no culture war. There is one war. There is freedom and anti-freedom. There is fascism and anti-fascism. There is communism and anti-communism. I know it doesn't feel nice to hear that. And I'm not saying that because I'm dumbing it down. Okay, that's not what it is. In fact, it actually is a very complex thing to look at the different stages of fascism, the different flavors of fascism, in the same way that when you go to the grocery store and you see 9,000 different ketchups, but they're all owned by the Heinz Corporation. Right? To understand exactly how the chains of modern slavery function in the form of capitalism is to be somebody on the fringe. And it's hard to be on the fringe of society. It's hard to look at people and go, wow, these guys are fucked. It's hard to see how stuck in their own world everyone else is. It's hard to look at people you may have known and may have loved and say, wow, these people don't give a fuck about me anymore. It's hard to be on the fringe of society. Like me, like many of you that watch my show. But when these motherfuckers that are in the mainstream, when these motherfuckers that are doing the why I left the left and went to the right and went to the center, they're giving up. Not that they ever tried to begin with. They're giving up. They're giving up and they're taking the blue pill. Maybe capitalism has a good point. Maybe Adolf Hitler had a good point. That's the blue pill. Go back and watch The Matrix. You may have missed a few things if you haven't watched that movie in a while.
That the left has completely, and they'll deny this, but I mean, just go to Twitter right now. They've like abandoned economic policies and instead hyper-focused on incredibly divisive, like identity-related issues, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, and like
Identity politics. What the fuck? Now again, there is no economic and culture is a false dichotomy. All right? Abortion access is an economic issue, okay? And a higher minimum wage is a black issue. Housing policy is a trans issue. Access to hormone therapy is an economic issue. These things are linked together and cannot be separated. Anyone that wants to pry them apart is fucking you. Fucking you, and not in the good dick way.
their take is always, oh, well, the other side wants us just they're racist, that's why. They're transphobic, that's why. And it's like, no, you got to do more than that. So if you're going to, if you're going to refute what they're saying, then actually address the points they're making. And if you're not going to do that, you're going to come out looking incredibly weak and childish.
You probably don't know this, but we talk about MMT and UBI on the stream quite often. It drives people crazy. I mean, how do you make affordable housing sexy? It's like, it's not necessarily a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's surprising because I did a story just last Wednesday on Airbnb crashing.
I watched that vid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Anna goes hard on Lance at the end of this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm done with this. All right. Also, thank you, Realign, for the membership. Now, again, I'm gonna show you how much I don't care about money. I just tabbed in. I normally don't have the viewer count open, but I just tabbed in, and I got 90 viewers right now. I can just sit here and farm the watch time. I could sit here and farm the cash. But you know what? That would be putting you through something you don't deserve. That would be putting me through something I don't deserve. And you know what? I don't feel like watching them fucking have this conversation. I don't care. I've seen enough. All right? So let me tell you that. I'm putting my money where my mouth is by shutting down the fucking gold mine. Shutting down the money stream because... And I'm going to call out my audience here. Something Anna Kasparian is afraid to do. Something that everyone else at the Young Turks are afraid to do. My audience loves when I go after dumb bitches like Anna Kasparian. They don't love when I talk about policy. They don't love when I talk about COVID. They don't love when I talk about how parenting in this country is fucked. They don't love how I talk about Jesus being a scam. They don't watch those videos. They watch these videos. You right now are watching a video that is not really that good for you. Are you learning anything watching this? Are you? No, you're not. You know you're not, but you're addicted. You're an addict, just like Anna Kasparian. You're addicted to the dopamine that you feel when you're having fights on the internet. When you have fights on the internet and you frequently refresh your page, 3 new, 5 new, 20 plus notifications. You're an addict. You don't give a fuck about climate change. You don't give a fuck about COVID. You don't give a fuck about healthcare. All you give a fuck is about, oh my god, Anna Kasparian's a dumb bitch. She says something dumb. So if all my new viewers out there, and there's the viewer count, oh, there it goes. Because I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm telling you I don't give a fuck if you watch my show. I don't give a fuck if you subscribe. I don't give a fuck if you unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck if you click off. I don't give a fuck if you click on. I'm doing this because I don't like Anna Kasparian, and to be honest with you, I woke up at 9:30 and didn't feel like coming up with another fucking thing for this show, okay? That's why I'm doing this, because I'm lazy. I said that at the top of this, but there's more people here now. I'm doing this because I'm lazy. I woke up at 9:30, I stayed up late, I had a rough couple days, stayed up late, woke up at 9:30, 30 minutes before my show starts, right? And I got a bunch of people telling me to talk about this, so I took the easy way out. Because I didn't feel like talking about anything important. And I'll tell y'all, if Adam and Sich want to have a conversation, I'll go on your show. You can come on my show. If Anna Kasparian wants to have a conversation with someone who's not the guy from Office Space, which, again, the leftist mafia, I'm sorry if you're calling them insane. If you're calling the guy from Office Space insane, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Anna is living in a bubble, and she doesn't know that there are people that don't play these games out there. I don't play these games. I don't give a fuck about your games. I don't give a fuck about your whole, I'm gonna switch from fucking this paper towel to that paper towel that are both owned by the same corporation. I'm gonna switch from this macaroni and cheese box to that macaroni and cheese box. They're both owned by the same corporation. And like I said, if I wanted money, I'd watch this whole thing. And I'm not going to. I've decided I've had enough. It's been boring for the last 15, 20 minutes now. Okay? This shit's been boring for the last 20 minutes, but I wanted to see if there was anything else to it. But I'm telling y'all, I'm bored. I'm bored, and so should you be. Is this entertaining? Really? This is entertaining? You should be ashamed of yourself if this is fucking entertaining. Hey, I know. It's not popular to yell at your own audience. And I know that there's a lot of people here that don't normally watch my show, and welcome to the program. I have a lot of shit to say about every facet of society, but you don't give a fuck about it. All you give a fuck is about what I have to say about the Young Turk lady, because you're part of the problem too. But in order to stop being a part of the problem, awareness, learn, understand, analyze your own behavior, self-analysis. Now, I'll tell y'all why I got out of the drama industry over the last 6 months. Now, I wouldn't even consider this drama. I consider this the same thing as dunking on Candace Owens. But why? Because it's pointless. One, do I really feel like having neo-Nazis swarm my shit just to fucking call me names and deal with that? Do I feel like doing that? No. Two, am I learning anything? Right, because in order to talk about this stuff, I have to watch this garbage. Do I learn anything by watching this garbage? No. I'd rather watch videos about food. I'd rather watch videos about trauma. I'd rather watch videos about climate change. I'd rather watch videos about COVID. I don't care about this shit. But it's not popular. Whenever I talk about COVID on my show, which is the most important issue of our lifetime, it's more important than climate change. COVID is more important than climate change. Everyone yawns. My viewers go down. When I post those clips on YouTube, they get the least amount of views. Why? Because my audience, a lot of them, are a bunch of kids who don't like fucking hearing bad news. So, hey, that's just my opinion. Anyway, I'm done with this garbage. And we're gonna do a short debrief here. Everybody, I like to do it, for all the new viewers out there, I like to do a segment on my show called QCOC. Questions, comments, or concerns. Alternative, queries, which is not a slur. Comments or concerns. You got them? Post them. Normally, I don't have this many viewers, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up. But I'm done talking about the Dumb Bitch Hour with Dumb Bitch 1, Dumb Bitch 2, and Dumb Bitch 3. And if any of these dumb bitches find this, they come across this, whatever, it's possible, hit me up. But anyway. Like, is this the real fucking Adam Freendead, or is this like some troll account? I don't even know, man. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm looking at the chat now, but I mean, if you're the real guy, what's up? If you're a troll, I mean, what's up? I mean, I guess I'm reaching that audience, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Alright, let's look at the chat. I've been ignoring the chat for like the last, I don't know. Oh god, how long have I been live? I've been live for 3 hours. Fuck! Yo, I swear to God, man. But yeah, QCOC. Let's go. Stitch and Adam. Yo, this motherfucker. I don't even like Lilo and Stitch, but like I think it's cringy. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
In a future
No, this is the actual guy, man. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking at the channel. Yeah, I mean, what's up? Let's do a show. Sure. You don't get banned nowadays for talking about COVID? You do if you have the real life position, which is COVID is still happening, the vaccines weren't enough, and everyone is dumb for not wearing a mask. You get banned for that. When I say that, and I make my videos about that, I get banned. When you say all sorts of fucking anti-fucking realistic COVID conspiracies, like the mRNAs, like you do all this shit, you're fine. But when you're living in the real world, you get fucked. So. But yeah, I'm not gonna debate socialism in the chat. Like, if you want to do because it's pointless, you know. It's not like talking from a stream to a chat with that delay. It's pointless. It's not gonna. But if you want to do a show, like, let's do a show. You know, anytime. Send me a message on Twitter if you have a Twitter. If you don't, let's set it up. But, you know, we're not going to get anywhere if we're doing a chat to streamer debate. That's not happening. I mean, it could happen, but it would be pointless. So. Well, let me look for more queries. Does anyone have any queries? Goddamn motherfucking queries. Son of a bitchin' queries. Just found out about you and you're totally right in calling her out for her grifting BS. Metal Progressive 450 has logged on. Am I a socialist? I was a socialist when I was a kid, maybe. And then I grew up. Right-wingers are unhinged, mentally damaged freaks. I'll throw liberals in there, too. I'll throw Marxists, Leninists, like those college kids, man. I will tell you, there is no cringier human being than the college freshman, like, Marxist-Leninist who's a trust fund baby and whose only experience with leftism is reading a book. Like, I'm telling you, that is the worst kind of leftist. If you can even, like, those motherfuckers, man, I swear to God. Like, that shit, like, all cylinders of cringe in my brain get fired. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Give me a fucking break here. Give me a fucking break, okay? Just fucking hold on. Question. Who stops an active domestic abuse situation from being a murder? Who stops them? I mean, typically, nobody, right? If you're trying to do, like, this, like, cop thing, which is where I think the leading question is, cops don't stop them either. These so-called moderate Republicans in red states, by the way, are trying to get a case to the Supreme Court that lets domestic violence perpetrators own guns, right? So moderate Republicans, cops, they're not doing anything. In fact, 40% of cops are domestic abusers. 40% of cops beat their spouses, beat their family members. I also have cops in my family, and the cops in my family are domestic abusers. They beat their spouses, they beat their family members, and they emotionally and psychologically manipulate everyone else in the family. That's why I broke from my family, because fuck that shit. I'm not playing that game. So I'm telling you, if you're trying to make a leading argument about cops stopping domestic abuse or whatever, that's a fantasy. You're living in a fucking fairy tale land. Domestic abuse happens, and no one stops it because our world is trash. Qcock, your opinion on fireworks. I think fireworks are garbage. People that like fireworks have a low IQ, and people that argue in favor of, private property fireworks displays, personally, I think belong in jail. And that's I don't believe in jail, but I'm willing to make an exception for the fireworks fuckers, man. I swear to God, man, okay? Have I watched The Princess Bride yet? No, I'm sorry. If not, why do we hate masterpieces? Man, fuck you. Have you watched Beyond the Black Rainbow? Huh? Huh? You watched Beyond the Black Rainbow? Check this out, motherfucker. I got the soundtrack. I got the soundtrack to this movie. That's how much I love it. Have you seen it? If not, go fuck yourself, Princess Bride. Princess fucking Bride, okay? Fuck that. Mainstream garbage. Go watch Beyond the Black Rainbow if you want a real movie. I thought we were your queries. No comment. Fireworks send thousands to the hospital annually. I love watching those cringe compilations of motherfuckers blowing themselves up with fireworks, man. That shit's awesome. Am I a socialist? No. I think I already answered that. I like how you also call out liberals and leftists on real parts. I don't think there is a left in this country. I think COVID destroyed the left. That, you know. So, yeah, I'll call them out. That's the thing. Most politics is just a fucking brand. It's what t-shirt you're wearing. Are you wearing a red hat or a blue hat? What flag what pins do you have on your backpack? You know, what kind of fucking, you know, earrings are you wearing? What kind of fucking whatever? It's just all an act to these people. Leftists, liberals, conservatives, Nazis. No one actually gives a fuck. I think drones are much better for sky shows and they're better for the environment. I've never seen that, but I'm open to it. If we have to get momentum on the left, we're going to need those trust fund Marxist funds. I agree. Which is why I need to fucking radicalize those guys. Because motherfuckers will be like fucking on their second week of college and they'll read fucking like Das Kapital and think that they've solved the universe. Like those motherfuckers, man. Jesus goddamn Christ, you know? I'm still catching up. Bear with me. The core skill of being a journalist is the ability to tease out truth and facts. Well, I don't consider myself a journalist. I used to. I've done journalistic work, but that's not my area of expertise. My opinion on cannibalism, I believe that we should eat healthy food, and to my understanding, eating other humans is not a healthy thing to do. So I am against cannibalism on those grounds. Now, those are the only grounds I'm against cannibalism on. If you eat chicken, you should have no problem with eating humans. Outside of the, again, I guess there are a couple of other health conditions that you can get by eating too much human flesh. But if you're a meat eater and you're against cannibalism, I'm sorry, man, you're just dumb. So, my nephew just literally spent 20% of his paycheck on fireworks. Tell your nephew to have a good time. And, tell him next year spend 40% and, just wait. And then when they blow their hands off, then that's when the fun starts. Lindsay, I fucking did a whole Max thing at the start of the show. So, in fact, go back and rewind. Max came on the show before I did. Max came on the show before I did. With that shit, man. Come on, Lindsay. Come on. Marxist-Leninist 1917. Yo, this motherfucker. I don't know if that's like a real account name or if you just like made it up because I was making fun of these guys. But yo, this motherfucker coming in the chat, Marxist-Leninist 1917. Yo, what's up? How's it going, man? When's class start? To be fair, the pins look good. Yeah, they look good, man. I got pins. In theory, I'm an anarchist. In practice, I'm a democratic socialist. Yo, Retro Boomer, I swear to God, if you make fun of me for voting for Joe Biden in 2020 one more time with this fucking, in practice, I'm a democratic socialist. In practice, I'm an anarchist. So I'm telling you, motherfucker, you tell me that you're so much better than me because I voted for Joe fucking Schmo, you know? I'm telling you this. I might not make the same mistake next time. But, I mean, I guess we'll see. When someone has to constantly say, I'm a liberal, guys, they're usually just right-leaning while being too chicken shit to own up to it. I agree. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel uncomfortable broaching the subject of, like, talking about someone I've personally never met. I've had some interactions, you know, in text format and like, you know, and all that, and but like I feel uncomfortable making grand claims about someone who's dead. That said, I mean, like, the words, they're the wise words are wise then and they're wise now, and You know what I mean? If we're talking about who's the modern day dumb left, it's sad, it's unfortunate, I wish it wasn't the case, but it's the motherfucker who coined the phrase dumb left's former co-host. And that doesn't make me feel good to say. You know, it's not like I feel awkward that like it's a bizarre thing, but it's sadly the way it is right now. And well, anyway, I don't mean to be too mean to you, Marxist-Leninist. I was making fun of people, and then you showed up. So, what's up? Aren't anarchists known for being against voting because they are against the state? Well, first of all, that's not anything about anarchism. Second of all, if someone is an anarchist and they want to proclaim their anarchism prevents them from voting, they're a fucking dumbass, all right? They're just dumb, right? They're just dummies. You see a lot of fake anarchists out there, too. You know, the people that, like, the people that listen to, like, punk rock, and they like to draw the A with the fucking circle, and they think, like, it's a tattoo. Like, it's a lifestyle. It's a fucking brand, like, oh, I'm going to wear the cool, that's not the anarchism I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real philosophical anarchism of being against hierarchical thinking. Joe Biden, I will tell you this, as a Joe Biden voter in 2020, Joe Biden was able to convince liberals, communists, leftists, anarchists, everyone in the country, Joe Biden convinced them that the pandemic was over. So, I say, when it comes to COVID, which is the most important issue of my lifetime, Joe Biden is worse than Donald Trump. And I don't like that. You think that makes me happy to say that? You think that makes me happy? You think I'm just like, wee? No, that's fucked up. Now, I knew that Joe Biden wasn't going to actually solve COVID, right? But I am not going to lie to you. I thought it would be better than Trump, and I was wrong. So, I was just wrong on that one. So, I'm taking the L. I'm taking the L on that. It happens. Anarchists that oppose voting are children, right? But again, voting is like a 0. Like, to me, voting is like showing up to work. Like, you show up to work, you clock in, you do what you have to do, you clock out, and then you do the shit that matters, right? That's voting. Voting is something you should do, but it's not the end-all be-all. It's not the most important thing in the world, right? It should not be the end goal. It should not be the crux. It should not be... Like, people treat voting as if it's the singular most important thing when you can do politics, and that's just not true. When Joe Biden broke the railroad strike, in that instance, he was objectively worse than Trump. I disagree with that, because Trump had also really horrible labor laws. So I would say they're equal. But on COVID, Joe Biden is definitely worse than Trump. And as you know, I know it pains me, but I do think when it comes to labor that they're the same. Will I start doing movie reviews again? I was thinking about maybe just making a movie channel separately. I don't know, man. I got too much in my head right now, man, for that. But at some point. Anna and Jank are very rich. That's the problem with rich people. Fuck them. Will I ever do more commentary for Doom videos? Yes, I will. For those of you that don't know, I am a world record Doom speedrunner. The good Doom, not the shitty Doom that the kids are playing, but the real Doom that came out in the 1990s. I am one of the best in the world. So hit me up if you like video games. Not only am I a premier thought leader, emphasis on thought, T-H-O-T, but I'm also a premier Doom record holder. Marxist-Leninist 1917. See, this is the game you're playing, and it's a stupid game. So, and I'm not gonna sit here and play this game with you because I'm gonna stop my show at some point in the near future. But I'm just, if you want to have this conversation like tomorrow or whatever, you know, feel free to come into my next show. But like, that's not like we're talking about labor, right? Sure, like Donald Trump did not destroy a railroad strike specifically. That's, if you think that that's equivalent to labor, I mean, you're just dumb. This is where that sophomore and college mindset comes out, right? Labor, Trump was worse. I care about labor. Now, the railroad strike is a massive part of labor, for sure. The railroad workers are a massive part of labor. And Joe Biden really fucked them over, right? But Donald Trump fucked over strikers too. It just wasn't railroad strikers specifically, right? So on labor, they're both shit, right? Like I'm not sitting here to try to make this fucking Joe Biden is worse than Donald Trump on everything, man, and here's why kind of bullshit. Because that's not my politics. My politics aren't talking about the president and what they've done. My politics are more than that. I really do believe in anarchism. It's just so hard because the only way for it to work is for everyone in my circles to have the same principles. In order to achieve that, you need to propagandize. I agree. That's why I do my show. Marxist-Leninist, I have determined that you are a troll and you're not listening to what I'm saying. So the conversation's over. Like that had, you responded to something I didn't even say. You said at Andrea, and then I don't even know what the fuck. Like, you're just like in your own world, I guess. I don't know, but you're not talking to me. You're adding me, but you're not talking to me. So we don't disagree because you don't even know what I believe, apparently, because you're restating a position, putting it on to me that I don't have. Breaking the railroad strike outweighs any good Biden did on labor. What? When did I even say Biden did any good on labor? Did you hear that? Did you hear me say Biden did good on labor? Did you hear that? Can you rewind the tape and find out the timestamp where I said Joe Biden was great on labor until the railroad strike? Can you find that? I didn't say that. Joe Biden's been shit on labor the whole time while claiming that he's the most pro-lib, fucking stupid ass bitch. Joe Biden. And you. Because I never said that. You're arguing with a ghost, you dumb motherfucker. So shut the fuck up. Anyway, man, I don't know. Subscribe to my Doom channel. I'm trying to get monetized on this channel, so if you want to, feel free to give me money, but you don't want to actually spend money, easy way to do it is to subscribe to my other channel, because once I get monetized, then I get to make money, and you can do it for free. You can unring the bell. I don't give a shit if you actually watch the fucking unring the bell, do whatever you need to do. It's all good with me. Yeah. I was at the hospital for lab work last Friday and the entire lobby was maskless. There wasn't anyone enforcing the mask mandate at the door when just a year ago they were strict. That's because they don't actually care. The healthcare industry is about negative health outcomes, not positive health outcomes. I said this before. I went to my doctor And in the front lobby, they had this big fucking poster that said Disability Pride. This was during Pride Month. I went. And it was like they had the handicap symbol everywhere. We love disabled people. If you're disabled, you're welcome here. No one wore a mask. I was the only one wearing a mask. So these motherfuckers are going to say, we love disabled people. Maybe what they really mean is, we love disabled people. Yeah, come here. Get disabled. Yeah, because you make us money. That's what I'm interpreting, right? Yeah, maybe they do love disabled people. Woo! Anyway, I'm just kind of letting the viewership drain out here. So, I have 117 notifications on Twitter. Oh, yeah. Everyone, retweet this shit, man. I challenged this dumb bitch to a debate. Retro Boomer, if you say Doom sucks one more time, you know that email you sent me? You better watch yourself. Because it might not happen now. Yeah, if you're a disability advocate and you don't believe in COVID, that's called being a fascist. You believe in eugenics. You only care about certain disabilities are more valuable than other ones. You were super gaslit here in this video. So, I mean, I know she won't debate me. I mean, that's never... Like, again, it's the manufacturing consent theory. I will never be in a position to debate Anna Kasparian because I am wholeheartedly against capital. And being against capital with every fiber of my being prevents me from being in that position. And feel free to prove me wrong. Damn, I've got a lot of these fucking notifications. Jesus. Anyway, I'll deal with Twitter later, man, y'all. I got 120 notifications, and I guess the Nazis found my Twitter. Because I'm getting a bunch of, like, people calling me a tranny. Ugly tranny. Dumb tranny. Typical leftist, crooked teeth. Yo, shout outs to the Adam and Sich show, man. Y'all got a great fan base, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat some food, so see ya! I didn't have the outro music set up, so pretend I didn't say that. Pretend I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. The show is still happening. Don't you worry about a thing. Everything will be fine. The show is still happening, and see ya! Just gonna blow your ears out, you know, have a little fun. Have a little fucking fun once in a while.